All right, time to get this started. All right, hi everyone. My name is Vince Wilson, and we're going to get started in just a moment. Waiting for some more people to pop in to our chat room here. I want everyone to, if you're watching, please say hi in the chat room down below. We're going to need some guests for tonight. You know, there is a slight delay, so please bear with us. All right. This was, of course, without a YouTube video, and we're kind of new to the whole YouTube streaming aspect, but we're doing our best shot. Can you believe, everyone, that it's been 1 year, an entire year since Poe's Theater opened up? It's been a year, one full year that Poe's Theater has been a thing, starting in Baltimore, the Ward Baltimore Hotel. And I'd like to call a little bit about how that happened. All right, in just a moment. Okay, just making sure that, boy, it's a long delay. Fantastic. Okay, so it's not me. It is our YouTube channel here. All right, everyone. See, I told you we're new to this. Give me a break, everyone, please. There we go. All right, here we go again. We're now on board and ready to go. Okay, so if you're appearing in the chat room, please say hi, give us a shout out, and we're getting ready. I'm going to be checking intermittently here on those coming in to chat with us. Yep. There we go. So far, we have a few people in here. In the chat, there we go. All right. So this is a great experiment. All right. The Poe's Magic has been around for a year now. It's just so amazing. I've met so many amazing people. I want to tell you a little bit about the history of Poe's Magic and how that started. I'll probably repeat this tomorrow night, and I hope to be back for even more magic tomorrow afternoon and evening. All right, but tonight we're going to have the Poe's Magic All-Stars tonight. These are the magicians who make it work, and without them, this never would have happened or been or become the most amazing thing I've ever personally experienced. And that is not an exaggeration. These are the most amazing people I've ever met. They're the most wonderful people I've ever met. And I hope tonight that you will escape from reality a little bit. You know, we're going through some very trying times right now, to say the least. And we're here tonight to try to take your mind off of these times as best we can. I know it's hard, but sit back and relax and enjoy tonight's show. So going back a year. So it goes back, the story goes back even further than that. When I first thought of the idea, I had ran it by a few friends, and friends like David Parr and Paul Prater, Don Geach, Vlad, the Gothic magician, they know him. Yep. Yeah. Vlad, the Gothic magician, you might know him by that name. It is, and they told me to go for it. And he gave me some advice. I think it was Paul Prater actually told me to send a message out to the city of Baltimore to see if there was anyone who was any hotels that would be interested in hosting a theater of this type, a venue. And I did. I sent it out to every hotel in Baltimore, and only one came back. Just one came back and said yes. Well, other ones came back, and they were pretty much the mentality: yes, rent our space out, and you can have it. The Lord Baltimore Hotel, the historic Lord Baltimore Hotel, famously haunted, by the way, is the only one that came back and said yes, yes, we'll do it. Yes, we will participate. We will partake. We will help and work with you to put on this amazingly great idea. And that is how it really came to pass. It was Paul Prater actually who was sitting in the room when the hotel management, someone who ended up becoming one of the hotel managers, someone who became a friend of mine, Lee Johnson Lowe, kind of laid it out and said, what could we do? How can we work together? And it became this amazing and wonderful thing today. Thank you, Lee. You're an amazing man. And that's how it came to pass. And then we started putting plans in the works. We reached out to local magicians. We wanted to have an outreach to local magicians. We wanted performers from the area, the region. And we wanted to have some of the biggest names in magic come to perform with those. First thing I did, contact friends, of course. Second thing I did, make new friends. That's not exactly as terrible as it's supposed to sound. It wasn't supposed to sound like that. Make new friends after contacting my other friends, my old friends like David Parr, Don Deach, Paul Prater, Randy. Randy Schein became a friend later on, but we actually met before, and many other performers over the years. Yeah. Okay, so we already got. Oh yeah, we've got a happy anniversary in the chat there. And this has been going on, for a year now. We've had some amazing talent, starting with Alon Du on June 1st. The 1 year anniversary was this past Monday, 1 year ago. I started meeting all these incredible people: Tim Hall, Dave Thomen, Anthony Ware, Bill Gross, John Gasman, Scott Stoolmiller much later on, George Bradley. Robert, who's last name, I hope he doesn't hold against me, but I know you, Robert, or Bob, the airline pilot. Thank you all so much. You guys are amazing, and there's been a few other people, the Ackerts, of course. I've known them since May of last year, and they've become very good friends and amazing performers in the past year. And they keep getting better all the time, but it's time for me to get on with this evening and not bore you anymore with the story detail. I'll continue that story tomorrow night. But for now, I'd like to introduce you to someone who's become one of my very best friends. Not a week goes by lately that we don't talk to each other, and I consider him a dear and good friend. And I want to introduce you to him now. He's an amazing magician. He's coming from you live, all the way from the alligator state of Florida. And I'm going to bring him into our chat room. So I'm the host, so I get to do these distracting things. So I want to bring Tim into the meeting first. Spotlight. Tim, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Oh, I'm so grateful to be here, Vince. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You sound wonderful as usual.
Good. Well, I'm 1,000 miles away from you, and hopefully you've got confirmation that people are seeing this live on YouTube right now.
Yes, we are. People
Excellent.
Are starting to pile in now. Yep.
Great. Well, I wanted to help share Poe's 1 year anniversary. This is a very, very exciting time. Poe's Magic Theater is unique theater in Baltimore, Maryland, where it allows magicians and entertainers to perform weekly there. It's a wonderful venue. So if you're ever passing through Baltimore, once we get back to live shows, please come and see a show at Pose Magic. It's absolutely wonderful. Also, tonight's a great cause. We're raising money for Doctors Without Borders. And boy, do we need less politicians and more doctors in the world. So I'm very, very grateful to be part of this first anniversary and to kick the show off. But not only is this the first anniversary of Pose Magic, it's an anniversary for me. Yeah, it's true. This is the first anniversary of, well, not the first anniversary, but this week is the anniversary when I first saw a magician. And this magician changed my life, for good or bad, but he did change my life. And it's also, about a year later, was the anniversary this week of my very first magic show. My sister, CJ McCaffrey, she gave me a magic kit for my birthday or Christmas, and I absolutely loved it. So you never know what magic moments are going to change your life, or when you meet somebody, it's going to change your life. So when I saw this magician for the very first time, his name was Troy Milligan, and he did this rope trick that was absolutely amazing. And I went up to him, and he was like at a state park, a state festival kind of thing performing. And I went up to him, I said, you have to teach me that rope trick. And I had never seen a magician before. And I said, not only do you have to teach me that magic trick, but you got to give me magic lessons. And this is a true story. So I ended up hiring him. I went home that night and I told my parents, I said, hey, I just hired this magician, Troy Milligan, and he's going to teach me some magic. And my parents said, oh, that's great. How are you going to pay for that? And I said, oh, well, I hadn't thought about that. But what I would do each week is I would cut grass and save up my money. And he would come over on a Monday night and teach me magic. And he ultimately taught me this rope trick that I just fell in love with, which I'm going to show to you if that would be all right. But anyway, that was a magic moment for me. And you never know when you're going to meet somebody or when you're going to create a really magic moment. Would you like to see this first magic trick? Yes? I can't hear you so much out there, but let's give me a thumbs up. Excellent. All right, well, this magic trick starts. This is the very first one that I ever saw, and it changed my life. I've got two pieces of rope, a really long piece here in my right hand, and of course, a short piece in the left hand like this. Now, I'm going to take these two pieces of rope like this. This is a very famous rope trick. And we're going to say the magic word. We're going to go snap, just like this. Check this out. The two pieces change to be exactly the same length. Now, that's pretty cool. But watch, we're going to take this one step farther. We're going to tie this into a knot, just like this. All right, you see it? There's a knot on it, just like that. Now watch, it's always in the snap. And we're going to go like this. Wait a minute, that's strange. Check this out. The knot comes completely off the rope like this. All right, let's try one last magic trick here. And we'll just take it like this and watch. Again, we give it the little snap, just like this. And here we go, check this out. Boom, 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 just like this. And that is the world famous rope trick that I saw when I was about 12 years old, and it changed my life because I said I want to be a magician for the rest of my life. So if you like that, big round of applause, thumbs up, put in the chat thing there, give me a little applause, a little thumbs up. I'd love to see it. So it's also the anniversary. So I took magic lessons from Troy Milligan for every Monday night. And then about a year later, I had enough nerve, enough confidence to do my very first magic show. I invited about 20 children to come to see my show, and I was kind of nervous, and they all sat on my living room floor and they watched the magic show. And if it's okay with you, I'm going to take you back in about 1 million years and pretend I'm doing my very first magic show. Would you like to see it? Great. All right, cool. Well, first of all, I'm going to show you my publicity photo from when I was probably about 13, 14 years old. Don't laugh, but check this out. This is me in my groovy white tuxedo. I don't think that was in style ever, even in the 1970s, but crushed velvet there, that had my phone number on it, and that was my very first publicity photo. All right, so let's just pretend we're gonna do my very first magic show, and I'm 12 years old, and you will be my audience. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm 12 years old. When you're 12 years old, you have a box for everything. So I had this box, and what's the box say? Yeah, right, magic show. So then I had some playing cards. And what I remember about this day, because it changed my life, because at the end of the magic show, all the kids, they clap, 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 but they made me feel really, really special, because when I did the magic effect, at the end of it, each magic effect, they would put their hand up and go, amazing. All right, so Vince, I might need you to kind of be the live audience for this. All right, so maybe you can unmute yourself. And when I tell you to, Vince, you're going to say amazing. All right? So Vince, let me hear you say amazing. Are you still there, Vince? There we go. All right, here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a person, if you're out in the audience, you can say amazing when they tell you to. So I have some playing cards with me. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playing cards like this. Just 5 playing cards. So I took one playing card away, I dropped it into the box, I snapped my fingers and I said presto. And I went like this and I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards like this, and everybody says amazing.
Amazing.
Thank you, Vince. You're finally catching up. That was pretty good. But when I remember when I was 12 years old, the response was much more enthusiastic. So I'm going to give all you folks out there in YouTube land to be a little bit more enthusiastic. I'm going to do this magic trick again. And each time I do this magic effect, well, I might exaggerate just a teeny little bit. All right, let me show you. I was 4 years old doing my very first magic show, and there were about 400 kids in the audience. I didn't know how to spell magic. That's a J, but I'm 4 years old, and that was the best I can do. So you know the routine. I've got some playing cards here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playing cards like that, just 5. What I did was I took one card away like this. I took 2 cards away like this. I snapped my fingers and I said presto, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards like that. Everybody says, amazing.
Amazing.
That was pretty good, Vince, but you know, when I was 4 years old, I remember the response being a little bit better. So I'm going to give you one more chance here. I'm going to tell the story again. I'm going to exaggerate just a teeny little bit. All right, you ready? I'm 1 year old. I'm 1 year old doing my very first magic show. There's 5,000 people in the audience. I'm really nervous. The cards are gigantic. You know the routine. Here we go. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards like this. I snap my fingers. Well, before I snap my fingers, I took 1 card away, 2 cards away, 3 cards away, 4 cards, 5 cards, 6 cards, 7 cards, 8 cards, 9 cards away like this. I snapped my fingers and I said presto, and I went like this, and I have 1 card, 2 cards, 3 cards, 4 cards, 5 cards like that, and everybody says amazing.
Amazing.
Oh, thank you, Vince. And all the cards here are gone. And that was my very first magic show, and I never forgot it. And the children were all so nice to me, and they said amazing, and it changed my life, and I wanted to be a magician for the rest of my life.
You're getting a lot of amazing
here.
things.
You've got a great lineup tonight. You've got some great magicians on the lineup, so stick around. And again, it's for a great cause tonight. It's for Doctors Without a Cause. But if it's okay, Vince, thank you. It's going to be Doctors Without a Border, without borders. They obviously have a cause. So Doctors Without Borders. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right. So I thought it'd be nice if I do one last magic trick here. And then what I thought I would do is I would teach everybody how to do a magic trick. Does that sound like fair, Vince? Yep.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Well, so magic is why it's been so special for me. 12 years old, I did my very first magic show, and it changed my life forever. I've met so many wonderful people, and I've met many celebrities, and I've traveled all over the country doing magic, and it's just, I absolutely love doing, do what you love and love what you do. But anyway, I thought I'd do something. So I've met many celebrities over the years, and I like to call my act the Celebrity Magic Show, or the Celebrity Magic. So I'm going to do something that involves celebrities. Inside this envelope, I've got a photograph of a very famous celebrity. We're going to put it right there. Hopefully everybody can see it. You can see it. Is that right? Okay, good. Now inside there's only room for 1 celebrity. Now I have some names of some other celebrities here. And Vince, I'm probably, since I don't have any feedback from the people on YouTube, either you can be the volunteer or you can have somebody pick.
I can read it to you too. Yep. Everyone in the YouTube video, remember there is a time delay. All right, so what you're saying is 5 seconds ahead of everyone in the channel.
Okay.
All right, but people are applauding you and saying amazing.
Excellent. Well, great. Yep. It was nice to meet everybody. All right, Vince, are you going to be my volunteer, or did you pick
I will be your volunteer then.
You're going to be my volunteer?
Yep.
Okay, so Vince, we didn't prearrange this, and I have some names of some celebrities. And over here, I have a picture of a very famous celebrity. I have some very famous celebrity here. George Clooney, the second best good-looking guy in the world. The first best-looking guy would be, of course, Vince Wilson, right? And the second card is, hopefully you can see that, Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga, yes.
Brad Pitt.
Yep.
Katy Perry. Jackie
yep.
Chan. Taylor Swift. Julia Roberts. Tom Hanks. Sandra Bullock, Tom Cruise, Angelina Jolie, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Scarlett Johansson, Leonardo DiCaprio, and I'll just go through these: David Copperfield, Kim Kardashian, Jamie Foxx, Justin Timberlake, Ellen DeGeneres, John Legend, and Simon Cowell. Okay, now here's where it gets really fun, Vince. And we didn't prearrange this. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix these up. They won't be in any order whatsoever. Even if we did prearrange something, I'm going to mix them up here like this. And Vince, all I want you to do is I want you to just tell me which pile. We're going to pick a pile. This pile or this pile? Which pile would you like to pick?
Your left hand.
My left hand. This one right here.
Yes.
Okay. Now we can either do this as we can keep this or we can get rid of it. What would you like to do?
Keep it.
Keep it. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, very good. We're going to keep that pile. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to split the cards into maybe 2 more piles. Just tell me whether you want right or left.
I'll go with right this time.
This right?
Yes.
And do you want to keep it or get rid of it?
Get rid of it.
We're going to get rid of it. Okay, completely random there. All right, we're going to split it into 2 more piles, right or left?
Left.
This left?
Yes.
Keep or change?
Keep.
Keep. All right, now we have 3 cards, and hopefully you can see this. I'm going to count on 1, 2, 3. Just give me a number between 1, 2, or 3. Which one do you want?
2.
2. This one right here.
Yes.
Now you could have picked this one, you could have picked this one. The cards were completely shuffled. You picked a random pile. You could have picked either pile. It didn't influence you in any way. And right up to the last second, if you don't want 2, you could pick 1 or you could pick 3. But you tell me, you want 2?
Yes.
2 it is. All right, so you picked 2, which is this one right here. Let's see which one it is. And can you see what that name is?
Julia Roberts, yeah.
Oh, Julia Roberts. I love Julia Roberts.
Yeah, she's a pretty
Maybe
woman.
some of you saw her in a very, very small movie about pizzas up in New England. You remember that, Vince?
I remember that, yeah.
That was called Mystic Pizza. About 15 people saw that movie, and I think they're all here tonight. But then, a couple years later, she has her huge breakout, which is what?
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. Thank you so much, Vince. So would you be amazed if inside this envelope, I have 1 photograph of the beautiful Julia Roberts? Would that be absolutely amazing, Vince?
I would be flabbergasted. Yeah.
And this would be a great way to kick off the pose magic, right?
Okay. I agree.
Now, just give me a little bit of leeway because women change their styles all the time. Sometimes women, especially celebrities, their hair is short, sometimes it's long, sometimes it's blonde, it's brunette. So if this picture is slightly older, I don't know what Julia Roberts looks like tonight or right now, but if this is just a year or a couple years old, give me a little break, okay? Fair enough, Vince?
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Randomly selected was the beautiful Julia Roberts. How amazing would it be? Inside this envelope, there's only room for 1 celebrity, Julia Roberts, inside the envelope, just like that. Yep. What? You guys aren't that excited? No, come on, it looks exactly like Julia Roberts. Well, this is for TV, so for ratings, well, Julia Roberts in a bikini? No, that's not gonna cut it? Well, I feel a song coming on right now, and it sounds very familiar, like Pretty Woman, because over here, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a picture of the beautiful Julia Roberts, and everybody says, amazing!
Amazing! Absolutely.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right, Vince, do I have time? I'm going to just take 1 minute. I'd like to teach everybody a quick little magic trick. Would that be okay?
Sure. Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right, great. Well, first of all, I just want to thank Vince again. It's a great cause, Pose for Magic. It's great to be a part of this anniversary, and it's a great cause, Doctors Without Borders. So I'm going to teach everybody a magic trick because it's not about the tricks or the puzzles or the effects. It's about creating magic moments for your people in their lives. And you never know when you're going to influence somebody and create a little magic moment or bring a little happiness to them. So I'm going to teach everybody a really simple magic trick that you can do. It involves a dollar bill like this. And of course, George Washington, our famous president, is on there. His head is up towards the ceiling. I'm going to fold this once, twice, 3 times. I'm going to snap my fingers because it's always the snap. And when I open it up like this, George Washington is upside down. Now, this is a very simple magic trick. Anybody can do it out on YouTube. All you have to do is take a dollar bill. You're going to hold it up. You're going to fold it 3 times, right to left, top to bottom, right to left, and then you're going to open it from the back, and then just like this. If you were to see it in reverse real quick, it's just like this, right to left, top to bottom, right to left, and then you just open the back like that. And that's the upside down George Washington magic trick. I hope I created a little magic and a little happiness for you. And it was so much fun to be here, Vince. Thank you so much for inviting me to be at your 1-year anniversary.
Tim, you were amazing. Absolutely
amazing.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Everyone, Tim Hall, round of applause in the chat room. I see we got a few people in there now. All right, we got Mink Ex Machina, John Gasman. Hey, John, how you doing? I know John Gasman. Scott Oster. Hey, Scott, how you doing? Todd Robbins. Let's see who else we got in here. We have Donald Schiami. I apologize, Don, if I'm saying that incorrectly, but welcome to our chat, Don. By the way, everyone, there is a earthquake. Sorry about that, everyone. There is a link in the description for the YouTube channel. Thank you for finally finding it. The one link was technically correct. It was supposed to just go live, but you're here now. Well, welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here right now. This is going to be really exciting. So it's been a year. That's right. And one of the another person I met a year ago, almost today. I'm going to bring him in now. I'm going to have him running in the background, actually. So, yeah. Hold on for a second. There we go. Let's have him talk here. There we go. Dave, can you hear me? Dave, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. Fantastic. All right, Dave, thank you for coming in. You're not spotlit yet, which is a Zoom thing that we're doing right now. But I will have you spotlight in just a second. Yeah, Dave Thomen and I have become really good friends over the past year. He performs at what's the name of the restaurant? Dave,
Greenmount Station.
That's right. Yeah, I'm burned out right now. They're kind of burning the candle.
That's quite all right. You haven't been busy at all.
Yes, this has been a struggle to put this weekend together, and I'm handling all the technical stuff. So I really appreciate everyone being patient with me as we're making this thing move along. Chugga chugga, choo choo. Here we go. Dave Thomen, everyone. I'm about to put him on the spotlight. He's going to tell you a little bit about himself and where he performs. He's an amazing magician, one of the funniest guys I know. And he not only that, he teaches magic. Isn't that amazing? Everyone, have a round of applause for Dave Thomen.
Thank
Dave,
you.
You're a star of the show now.
Wow. What a great response of a sound effect here we have in our home theater here tonight. Hey, great to be with you. My name is Dave Thomen, but everyone calls me one letter D, the letter D, and hence D's Magic. It's great to be with you here tonight. I enjoyed the first segment, Tim Hall. How about learning that trick with the dollar bill? Although, Tim, I think my bill might be a little too big for this. You were folding it up, and this one's a little too big. But, do you all know that magic is as old as the Egyptian pyramids? And that's something I teach at Common Ground on the Hill at McDaniel College. And we have our first class starting June 29th, Monday. And we're doing it virtually. We're going to have Zoom magic taught. And many of the students are actually teachers who are getting continuing college credit by taking my class and 4 others for 5 days. So I'm looking forward to it. In fact, when I talk to them about magic, what I normally refer to is magicians. They have no clue who they are. For example, I have artwork in my home here, and you can see a picture of David Devant. What's interesting about his artwork is he puts all the emphasis on the audience instead of himself. He was one of the first people to understand the value of audience as individuals. So that's what I'm going to attempt here tonight virtually with you, to put an individual emphasis on this trick, because my oldest magic book on my bookshelf is indeed from David Devant from the year 1911, and it has an impromptu magic trick called Chocolates from a Cap. And I'd like to present that to you here tonight. The first thing we're going to need, of course, is the actual chocolate. Although I've spent 30 years here, over 30 years in Maryland, outside Baltimore, Pennsylvania is my home. I grew up near Hershey Park. So you can see the types of chocolates, everyone, that I like to make appear. In fact, Vince, I'm looking forward to having maybe someone help me with this, either through a hand signal or through audio. So maybe can we get someone to participate out there, perhaps? We have 2 pieces of chocolate here, everyone. I have a Good Bar and a plain Hershey's. So perhaps someone out there could help me and choose either Hershey's or Good Bar.
All right, so I'm checking out. Let's see what we got. Remember, there's a 5-second delay.
No problem here, but if you want to have someone help with this, that would be great. They have to choose one of these chocolates for magic.
No one's popping into our.
Well, tell you what, I'm going to make the choice. I'm going to start with the plain chocolate. Someone out there might have a peanut allergy, so I will actually put that Good Bar back in here. And do you all know out there how to make chocolate disappear? Yeah, the best thing to do is to unwrap it and eat it. In fact, if you put a Good Bar in your hand at the same time and unwrap both, you really have a party. But I want to do some magic. So the whole idea is to see if we can't have some of this candy tonight leave my hand and return right back there, everyone, into the cap. So when we started this, we started with the Good Bar. Oh, my mistake. We actually started with the plain chocolate. My mistake. We started with the plain chocolate. And, you know, something I instruct new magicians is you should never repeat a trick. But interesting enough, David Devant in 1911 talks about the value of doing a magic trick a second time. People are actually watching for the magic to happen. And if you're wondering how that transposition works, everyone, here is that chocolate for you out there. So I hope you like that little sweet miracle tonight. I also have something else here. Tim did something earlier with cards, and I don't want to make a big deal about it, but I'm going to make a big deal out there about this because most of the times when I use cards, they're not this big. Plus tonight, I'm not playing with a full deck. I have just 5 cards in here, and we're going to do something a bit unusual tonight since these cards are so big. If I have any kids watching, don't do this at home. Go to a neighbor's house and use their cards, okay? Because you're not going to be able to play anything with them. But what we're going to do is we're going to take 5 cards here, and we're actually going to create 2 stacks of 5 cards. And I like to play a game called Will the Cards Match? And I want to make sure here, I think I actually left a card in the box. I did. Hold on here. We didn't even tear up 5 cards. We only tore up 4. So I want you, before we start, everyone, just to make sure we have no funny business here, let's go ahead and show you these cards. And we do want to play with 5 cards. In fact, I'm going to make it a game show. Let's make this a game. So what we're going to do, everyone, hold on here. We left a card in the box. We want to make sure we have all the cards this time. Let's tear this one up as well. Here we go, everyone. The game is called Will the Cards Match? And the way this game works, everyone, is I have someone out there help me mix the cards. Everyone, you can see in the card box, I have tabs marked here. I have pile number 1 and pile number 2. So we are going to play this game with this stack and this pile. It's called Will the Cards Match? We're going to mix them up by spelling Will the Cards Match? I would maybe have Vince or anyone else out there that wants to help. Tell me what pile to start with. Are we starting with pile 1 or pile 2? I'll pretend I'm the first helper. And I'm going to say I started with pile 2. And I'm going to spell will. And every time I spell a letter, I'm going to move a card. W, I, wait. anyone out there can say stop to switch and just say switch. If I hear switch,
All right.
I have
I'm watching
to
the
switch to
chat.
this pile, L, and let's say I heard switch again, L. So everyone see how that's being played. So there's our first one. So are we starting with pile 1 or 2?
All right, let's see. I got a direct chat with someone, and they're saying, Ming says chat 1.
We're going to do
Pile
pile 1. Okay,
Yeah,
pile
pile
1.
one.
I'm going to spell the word THE. And this helper can say switch as I'm shuffling if they want me to switch. T, H. I'm not hearing a switch or anything.
Saying switch now.
Oh, switch. Okay, well, I didn't hear it in time. But so I'm
Yeah.
going to just go ahead and say I moved that third card. So that's Will V. Now, we're going to spell the word cards and shuffle the cards up. So let's use that same person if we just want to do that. Pile 1 or pile 2?
I'm asking now. Pile 2.
Pile 2. And again, you can say switch as I'm spelling the word cards. C, A,
Switch.
R, D,
Switch.
S. Cards, the last word, match. Pile 1 or pile 2 to start?
All right. 2. Randy
Pile
Shine
2,
says
and I'm
2.
spelling the word match, and we can switch again to make sure that everyone see how random this is. This is totally
Yeah.
random. You're determining how the cards are shuffled. So we're going to spell the word match. M, A,
Switch.
T, C, H.
Switch.
So there we go, everyone.
Yeah.
And of course, that leaves these 2 cards right here. So the whole idea behind this game is it's called Will the Cards Match? And I'm looking at the backs of them here. I think they match pretty good. What do you think, everyone?
I believe they agree.
That's not what we're talking about. We actually wanted to see with the randomness of you all helping with the magic, if there's any possible way. Now, this doesn't always work because you're controlling the outcome of this. But we did get the first one there. Do we have a match? We have a match for the first one. Could we get 2 out of 5? Could we go 2 out of 5 tonight? Look at that, everyone. We have 2 out of 5. Wait a minute. Could we match 3 out of 5 tonight? That's a match. Will the cards match? You know, if these 2 match, these 2 match. And I got to tell you, usually I only get 3 out of 5. But for Poe's anniversary weekend, I'm feeling this. In fact, do me a favor. Vince Wilson has something called coffee set up, and I want you to donate anything you like about my act to his account. Please make donations on behalf of Poe's Magic tonight. And hopefully by making that declaration, that's going to help my blessing to see if we do have a match. If we do have a match. We do have a match, everyone. That is Will the Cards Match. Thank you. Now, you know, the only problem with this is when I'm done, you know, I can't really use these cards again. So I always tell people that's usually why I don't perform this trick a lot, because I'm always left in an awkward situation that, you know, even big cards like this, you know, I couldn't really do anything with those. But, you know, since we are having a magic show here tonight, I got to thinking that perhaps we could do Will the Cards Restore? Thank you, everyone, for playing that game with me. And hopefully you all are hearing me okay. Is everyone hearing me okay out there?
Yeah, you
Wait,
sound
hold on.
wonderful.
I can do a microphone check. I'm having some problems. My daughter Sarah, I think, has put a face filter on the computer here. So with the microphone, I can't be using that microphone. But hey, speaking of coffee and making that donation, next time you're out, and we can be out at a Starbucks, what you want to do is I'll teach you a trick. Since Tim Hall taught you a simple trick, let me teach you something before I end. What you want to do is take the coffee sleeve off the cup, and when you hold it, you actually, if you blow in it, you can get Now, there is a little secret, and if you're wondering why magicians don't tell secrets, this is why, everyone. Just a styrofoam cup with a hole in it. In fact, last year when we had live at McDaniel College, I had 19 students, and one was a gym teacher, and he actually in our class show did this effect for the students. It wasn't something we taught in the class, but it is such a good impromptu trick. What I normally teach doesn't involve the cup, but actually the Zarf. Yes, this sleeve is technically called a Zarf, Z-A-R-F, look it up. What you want to do is take the Zarf apart. So you have it like that. In fact, I took 2 of them and I glued coffee stir sticks to the back to kind of keep them stiff. It's amazing when Starbucks has these manufactured because it's perfect. You can see they're the exact same size. I'm holding 2 here just to let you see that again. They're the exact same size. But Vince, can you hear me?
Yes.
Vince, this is Zarf 1, this is Zarf 2. Choose 1 or 2.
1.
Do you want one to be bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
So everyone watch. I'm not making any switches here. I'm just going to pull on it a bit. And you can see the miracle that we can accomplish right while we're buying coffee. Can everyone see how it is now larger? Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Now, I have to tell you, this is an example. This is an example of how our eyes can't always perceive what we're actually seeing. Because if I start moving them like this, you'll actually notice that the one on top always looks smaller than the one on the bottom. It's an optical illusion, everyone. It's because of the curve of these, and even though they are the same size, you can create a nice little magical effect by just taking the coffee sleeve, take it apart carefully, and you don't have to put the stir stick on the back if you're laying it on the table. I just keep the stir stick there so you can see it. So, has everyone enjoyed Dee's magic tonight? Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, before I end, I want you to know in our home, in fact, I was a child magician and got out of magic as a young adult. I was in the service. I was in the Army for 6 years, went to school, worked in business, and got back into this art when my wife and I had our first child. My kids now are 30 and 28 respectively. They've always watched me grow up again in magic, if you would. And the value of having them here in our home is our pets. In our home, we have more pets than people. We have 2 dogs, a cat, a bird, and a bunny. And I thought perhaps to end today, I could introduce you to one of these pets. So there is a painting behind my wall. Do you all see it there?
Yes.
Watch. Everyone, say hello. This is Jerry, everyone. Everyone say hello to Jerry.
Hello, Jerry.
She is actually a rescue. In fact, what's funny about Jerry is when we got her, when we adopted her, we thought she was a male. And we named her after my magic mentor, Jerry Mickey. And then we took her to the vet and we found out that she's a bird, or pardon me, a girl bird. So her name is actually Jerry, G-E-R-I, or we call her Jerry. Now I have to tell you, I have to be careful because the thing about Jerry is she is a rescue, so we don't know her exact age. But I will tell you, we know she's a teenager. My vet says that she's a teenager, and if you're wondering why, it's because she gives me lots of crap. But anyway, we've had a great time here, and I want to thank Vince and the cast of Poe's All-Star Weekend here for some wonderful magic. Stay tuned. There's more magic ahead tonight, and tell your friends about it so they can join in. It's also going on tomorrow. Thank you, Poe's Magic and Vince Wilson.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Dave, you're a true all-star. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight and being part of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Thomen. Thank you so much, Dave. You're awesome. We can still hear you a little bit if you want to say thank you and that sort of thing.
Thank you, everyone.
There we go. All right, so J.D. Thomen, thank you so much for being a part of tonight's magic performance. I met Dave about a year ago now through Pose Magic, and he's been one of our all-star performers. So what the all-stars are those magicians local to the area in Baltimore who support Pose Magic. They actually show up at the hotel. They do strolling magic and walk-around magic, and sometimes stage magic for guests at the hotel. So you sometimes pre-show before a show starts for another magician, and sometimes just to hang out and have fun and talk shop. We also have workshops and meetings and lectures at Pose Magic for the up-and-coming magician. All right. In fact, one of those up-and-coming magicians is joining us next on the show tonight. Adam Stone has been with the Pose Magic players for nearly a year. I want to bring him in actually right now so he can talk to us. There we go. We can do a little back and forth. Adam, can you hear me? There we go. There we go. Hey, Adam, how you doing?
I am wonderful. How are you doing, Vince?
I am wonderful too. So, tell me a little bit. How did we first meet? Do you remember?
I
I think it was the auditions a year ago or so, right?
Yes, I believe that is correct.
Yeah, yeah. Adam is he does strolling magic and stage magic. He does some wonderful performances with he's he can do theme shows as well. It's great to Adam has quickly become a friend of mine, and it's been an honor to meet him. And I am so happy that he could join us this weekend. In fact, all these people on here tonight have become good friends of mine. And I definitely include Adam Stone in my list of friendships I've met in the past year. So Adam, I just want to let you know that we did have a technical difficulty earlier with getting you in here, so I was not able to. Are you still here? Yep, you're still here. Okay, so
I'm still here.
do you,
Yes.
do you need me to bring in both of your accounts because you have two listings here?
No. So something was happening. I think it's a technical thing with Zoom. I had to close everything out, and then when I went back in, it finally let me in. It was saying that there's it said that you're in another meeting, but you're not in another meeting. So I don't know what's going on with it. But
Interesting.
So if audience members are still trying to get in so they can participate, they might need to shut everything down and then go back in.
Once again, the Illuminati has interfered to try to screw with our progress and
Always
reporting.
the
Yes,
Illuminati.
always the Illuminati. But I'm going to bring you in and spotlight you. All right. So tell everyone a little bit about yourself, Adam, and what you've been up to lately.
All right. So I have been up to about like this. I've been at home, which has been not as much fun as being out, but still good. I have two little kids, and that's it's fun to play with the kids. So I am enjoying that portion of it.
You have muted your children tonight, right?
My wife is here. She is taking care of the children. So that's something.
Okay, good.
So yeah. So I was hoping to do a trick with everybody tonight. A trick that we can all follow along with, if that sounds good.
It sounds good. So we have I tried to post a link in the chat room. Some people are having trouble seeing the link. So I will have to be your volunteer, and I will answer questions on behalf of those in the YouTube chat. Is that okay?
That's fine. And actually, if you are watching on YouTube right now, you can follow along. All you're going to need is something to write with and a piece of paper. And that is all. And you'll be fine going along. I can actually see through the YouTube webcams as well. So I can tell if they're following along. So that's good.
Okay, don't forget there is a 5-second delay on that YouTube channel.
That's why they're moving so slow. That makes a lot of sense to me. So that's good. Yes. So pick it up, YouTubers. You're not as good as the Zoom guys. I'm just saying. Okay. So thank you so much for having me, Vince. Having me out here. You said so many kind words about me. You got me a little A little emotional, but that's good. As you were saying, so I'm a magician and I perform mentalism and hypnosis and magic all over the world. Or I will as soon as the world opens back up anyways. I thought it would be fun to play a game with everybody. And since this is a magic show, a game of chance, I think would be the best way to do it. Now, I grew up watching the show Mystery Science Theater 3000. Thumbs up.
Hey.
Have you seen that?
Yes, love that show.
Very good. And YouTubers, you can as well. I legitimately can see through your cameras. It's not, except for the guy that has the little plastic cover. I cannot see through his. But it's good. So the premise of that show is that a guy and his robots are forced to watch bad movies in an attempt to take over the world. And rather than just watch the bad movies, they make fun of them as they go, which makes the bad movies delightful for all who are watching. Which brings us to the game portion, okay? So everybody by now should have a sheet of paper, something to write with. What you're going to do is I'm going to have you fold your sheet of paper in half, and you'll actually only need half of the sheet. So if you'd like to share with somebody, you may. I'll share with that guy. If you don't have anybody to share with, you can throw it on the floor, I suppose. That's good as well. Now, your half of paper, you're going to fold your half of paper in half and fold that in half one more time. We're going to tear down the seams of that paper, just like so. And you should have 2 more seams to tear down as well. And that'll end up giving us 4 sheets of paper. Okay, now everyone has their paper. We are ready to go. On each sheet of paper, we are going to write the names of 4 really, really bad Kevin Bacon films. The game we are playing is 6 Feet from Kevin Bacon, COVID edition. So we're going to use 4 Kevin Bacon films, actually the 4 worst films rated on Rotten Tomato. So what I'd like you to do is on each of your papers, you're going to write 1 film. The 4 films are The Darkness, Ripped, R-I-P-D. I've not had the pleasure of seeing that one yet. I'm sure it's wonderful. The Air Up There, and finally, Super. So get each of those names on there. Once you have those on there, go ahead, put the names face down, and start to shuffle. Okay, we're going to go for the pledge. So Vince, I know the Zoom people we can't unmute right now, but if you could unmute all of the YouTubers, that would be great. And
They are following along 5 seconds behind.
5 seconds, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, 5 seconds behind. So I can't bring them in to be audible, but I can talk on their behalf.
Thank you very much. Okay, well then if you could repeat after me.
Sure. I
state your name.
Vince Wilson.
Oh, very good. Okay. Am of sound mind and only slightly buzzed.
I am of sound mind and only slightly buzzed.
Not yet footloose and fancy free. See, because it's Kevin Bacon, so footloose.
Footloose and or fantasy free.
I promise on the air I breathe.
I promise on the air I breathe.
To watch my magically selected movie.
To watch my magically selected movie.
With a few good men and women.
With a few good men and women.
10 or less, of course. From beginning to end.
What's that last part?
From beginning to end.
From beginning to end.
And watching this film from my animal house I live in.
And watching this film in the animal house I live in.
Is far better than running to the beauty shop.
Is far better than running to the beauty shop.
And catching the coronavirus.
And catching the coronavirus.
Because Kevin Bacon was in Animal House. That was his first movie. He was also in Beauty Shop with Queen Latifah. So I had to work those in somewhere. You can mute everybody again in 5 seconds for the YouTubers, of course. All right.
Yes, you're all successfully muted. In fact, they're physically incapable of talking now due to black magic. So.
Oh, thank you. See, Illuminati, take that.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone's papers are now nicely shuffled. We shouldn't know the order. I don't know my order either. We're going to take all of those papers and we are going to fold them in half. and get a really good crease. We're going to fold it back up the other way. Make sure you go through all of them. Same crease, and then back down one more time, because we're going to tear through all 4 at the same time. Fold, fold, fold. Okay, you got a good file. Open up all 4, and you are going to tear right down the middle of all 4. Now, your first choice for the night. You have a pile on your left hand, pile on your right. You may decide which one goes on top. I think I will do the right pile this time. Now, very slowly, I would like you to take the top, the very top piece. Make sure it is just one piece. Take it from the top, place it on the bottom. Excellent, very good. And YouTubers, excellent, very, very good. Now take 2 pieces, here we go. From the top, place it to the bottom. Very good. Next, 3 pieces, but this time, not to the bottom. This time we're gonna place them somewhere in the middle, anywhere in the middle. This top card right now, this is everybody's special card. I want you to take this card off, place it somewhere of significance, somewhere where we can all see it, somewhere you can get to it easily. Here's how this works. At the end of this game, we will whittle the rest of the cards down to 1. If you have a match with that 1, then that's the only bad movie you have to watch. If you do not have a match, then by the pledge you just took, you're going to have to watch all 4 bad movies. So you'll be giving away 8 hours of your life. I don't know if that has meaning in COVID land or not, but I feel like it does. So there we go. Next decision, I think we're paying more attention now. Take either 1, 2, or 3 cards, whatever you would like. Place those into the middle of your pile. Take the top card, trade it with a friend, if you have a friend there to trade with. Once you have their card, go ahead, put it in the middle. If you don't have a friend, you can put your own back in the middle. That's fine too. Finally, take either 1, 2, or 3 cards, and you're going to toss them at your computer screen very haphazardly. Excellent. Finally, there we go. Now, Tremors is indisputably, of course, Kevin Bacon's greatest film of all time.
Yes.
Won 3 Oscars for being in it. What we're going to do now is we're going to take 1 card for each letter of the word Tremors, and we're going to go from the top to the bottom. So here we go. T, top to the bottom. R, top to the bottom. E, M, O, R, S. Excellent. It's time to find our last cards. Just as Kevin Bacon did in the film Whitewater Summer, we're going to play She Loves Me Not with these cards until we're down to 1 final card. She Loves Me goes to the bottom. She Loves Me Not goes at your screen. She Loves Me Not. You're going to go until you are down to 1 card and 1 card only. Now, we might have different numbers of cards because I don't know how many you threw, but you're going to keep going until you do just have just that very 1 left. We've all shuffled, we've all ripped, we've all traded. Some of you have pieces of paper that belong to somebody else. Finding that perfect match, I don't know who it's going to happen for. If you do have that match, that's right, it's only 1 film instead of 4, so I hope you do. Let's see, go ahead, put your pieces together. When I put mine together, I have a match, I have the darkness. YouTubers, hold them up at the screen. All our Zoom people, there we go. Very, very good. We have a bunch of matches out there. You only have 1 to watch. Fantastic. Very, very good. My name is Adam Stone. Vince, thank you so much for everything this past year and for having me out tonight. Congratulations on your 1 year of success.
So yeah, if you want to support Adam, you have a coffee link yourself, don't you?
I do have a coffee link as well. Also, once everything opens back up, I do strolling magic at the Lord Baltimore at their Lord Baltimore Tavern, which is inside the Lord Baltimore. Thursday nights, you can come find me there. My schedule is up at adamstonemagic.com, and you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at adamstonemagic.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, Adam, it's time to take you off the spotlight.
Okay, thank you so much, Vince.
Yep. Thank you so much, Adam. You have a
Bye,
great
everybody.
day.
Take care.
Oh, there I am. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm trying to get my energy back. So, wow, this week, I'm telling you. So Monday we had this. The video is up on our YouTube channel. Monday we had this great discussion chat with the people that have been supporting us and helping us out performing at Post Magic in the past year. So you can go back and watch that and see this wonderful conversation we had, talking to some of the stories we've experienced, the ones they're willing to share anyway. That's right. Illuminati, you're not going to get a hold of those stories, maybe. But anyway, it's starting to get dark here. See, I have a little bit of light that trickles down through the ventilation here at the Lord Baltimore Hotel, because right now I am hundreds of feet beneath the Lord Baltimore Hotel, the haunted library. See, it's starting to get a little darker, mysterious here. There are many ghosts that haunt the Lord Baltimore Hotel. But that's a story for another time. Tomorrow night, you hear the rest of that. But it's time to introduce another friend. Person who's becoming a friend of mine. The past year, like I said, everyone here tonight, a friend of mine. I'm very happy to join them, including on my friends list, not only on Facebook, but also in my telephone. That's right, they're all on speed dial, and I know how to spell all their last names. In fact, the last name of the next person on our show tonight is spelled W-A-R-E. Anthony Ware, I want to bring you in now. All right. Time for you to join us, Anthony. Anthony, can you hear me? Yes, there you are. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so Anthony, how are you doing this evening? Anthony, can you?
Take either 1, 2, or
Can you
3
hear me,
cards,
Vince?
whatever you would like. Place those into the middle of your pile. Take the top
Can you hear me?
card.
Oh yes. Can you mute your video?
I'm sorry.
Once you enter your card,
There's an echo in the background.
oh, that's fine.
Oh, wait.
Finally, take either 1, 2, or 3 cards. And
Can you hear me now?
You're rehashing Adam Stone. All right, yes, I can hear you now. Adam, about to bring you online. So Adam, tell me about, I think we also met at the same audition, is that correct? Anthony?
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah. Yep, and so why don't you tell I'm gonna bring you in, I'm gonna spotlight you, and we're gonna continue our conversation. There we go. Hey Anthony, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How's everybody going?
Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. Is Bill with you tonight? Did he come over to hang out?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. We had talked earlier in the week about him possibly coming over and hanging out with you but I guess you're social distancing instead.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm talking for our
that.
viewers, I'm talking about William Gross, another post magic magician and a good friend of ours who's been helping out a lot the past year. But he couldn't make it this evening. Hopefully because he's working his butt off doing magic for somebody else. But Anthony Ware is here tonight. Anthony, thank you so much for coming here this evening. Anthony, you make it in the top search results for Baltimore in magic. You beat out Post Magic. I'm very jealous of you in that regard.
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to hang out with you guys.
That's right, yeah. So Anthony has one of the snazziest looking websites I have seen recently. That looks really good.
Thank you.
Yep, and he's been striving to, maintain that not only the top spot in Google, but a top spot in performance. He's a man who's always trying to up his game as much as possible when it comes to magic and illusion. Anthony, why don't you tell our guests a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get started with the magic of Anthony Ware tonight.
Okay, well, folks, I've been performing for, more than 15 years, longer than that, but I like to say I've been performing for more than 15. Uh-oh. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I've been performing for more than 15 years, Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good. Sorry, a little technical difficulty there, but you're good.
Okay. Thought it was me. and just having fun. Been doing some virtual magic shows in this time and day, and just having some fun with the folks. Yeah, so I met Vince at an audition about a year ago, and I've just been hanging out with the Pose Magic Theater crew and just trying to have a little bit of fun and just flourish and prosper in this game. And so I'm here to just have a little fun with you guys this evening. Had a little.
What's that?
Is everything okay, Vince? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're fine. Everyone can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, so I'm here tonight just to have some
volunteer.
fun. I'm here tonight just to have some fun with you guys. So hopefully we can continue the fun and just keep it going.
Sounds great. You need a volunteer, Anthony?
No, I won't need a volunteer.
All right, fantastic. You're good to go.
Okay, so I'm good to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I'm Baltimore magician Anthony Ware. So I want to thank you guys for having me this evening. Thank you for joining Pose Magic Theater and everything like that. So there's a lot going on in the world today. There's a lot of people going through some hard times, some trying times. So I'm hoping tonight I can just help lift the mood just a little bit, you know, just bring a little bit of relief with some magic and a little bit of humor, okay? So with that being said, I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the circus, okay? So don't forget, folks, this is a show about comedy and magic, okay? So if there's something that's not funny, just blame Vince Wilson from Pose Magic Theater, okay? I hope everybody's okay with that. So let's see. So let's get started here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to get started before my hair bursts into flames. So check this out, folks. I don't think I need this right now, so I'm just going to use this piece right here. Let me show you what I got. Just in case you guys don't know, I'm going to try to stand still a little bit. This is actually a piece of clothesline. See, the other day I was riding around town. I was just driving, and I saw this backyard with a clothesline in it. So I just backed up. I jumped out the car. I jumped over the fence, and I cut this thing down, you know. I like to get my rope on the cheap, ladies and gentlemen. So let me show you what we got here. Now, if they would have came running out the back door talking about what are you doing in my backyard, I would have told them that Vince Wilson sent me, but I got away. So ladies and gentlemen, to do this, well, actually, let me tell you the true story behind this. Actually, this rope right here, this is a true story. This actually reminds me of my grandparents. See, when I was young, me and my brothers and sisters would always be dropped off at my grandparents' house on a Friday night because my parents like to go out. My uncles and aunt would drop their kids off. So my grandparents always had a house full of grandkids. And my grandparents never had a dryer. So my grandmother would hang her clothes on these clotheslines out back, these T-shaped poles that held 5 clotheslines. And that's why this reminds me of my grandparents, because when they passed away, they left the house to me. And it was a labor of love for me to renovate this house. And the last thing that I took out of that house was those clothesline poles that were in the backyard. And one day I was just thinking about that. And this is what reminds me of my grandparents, because I had such a great time hanging out with them on the weekends. So let me show you. To do this, all you have to do is go jump over somebody's backyard and cut down the clothesline. Take the ends of the clothesline like this, ladies and gentlemen, and just twist the ends like that. That's all we're going to do is twist the ends like this, okay? And as you can see, the ends are right there. We can give it a little wiggle with the fingers. And once we do that, we can actually take the ends of the rope off just like that. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I like that myself. I'm just going to leave this right here. And what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is a circle of rope. Reminds me of that song by Elton John. It's the circle of life. Okay, enough of that. I went to another place there for a second, ladies and gentlemen. It must be those magic mushrooms I ate this morning, or menopause or something like that. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this end right here because I don't want you guys to miss anything. And I'm just going to twist the ends on like so. Like I said, I don't want you guys to miss anything, so we're just going to start all over, okay? All right? There we go, just like that, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I do this stuff at home in the mirror, and I amaze myself sometimes. I'll be like calling my buddy Bill up. Hey, Bill, man, you got to come over here and check this out in the mirror. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want you to think I'm doing anything sneaky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie the ends of this rope in a knot like so. Just like this. A nice solid knot there. And what I'm going to do here, I used to use scissors in my act, but I snipped my finger one day. So I figured it's better if I just take my fingers and give the rope a nice little snip just like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. You know, these things are sharp right here. How do you think I got this fresh cut? Yeah, baby. You got to watch the Adam's apple, folks. One day I snipped my Adam's apple. It was a mess. There was apple juice everywhere. All right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you what we got here. We should have two ropes about the same size. I'm going to try to stay in frame so you can see the rope, but they're not quite the same size. I'm going to take this short rope right here. I'll take this really, really long rope right here. Now I don't want you guys to miss anything, so we'll start all over one more time, okay? Ah, no, man, I'll tell you. Whoa. So look, this is what we got here. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, while I am doing this, my hands, they never leave my arms. I'm serious. They stay right there. They never leave my arms. But check this out. We have the ends on this side, ladies and gentlemen. We have the middle on this side. Watch closely, ladies and gentlemen, as the ends change places with the middle. This is standing ovation material, ladies and gentlemen. Watch closely as the ends change places with the middle. This is dramatic stuff. Watch closely. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Ta-da! Yeah, baby. Okay. Well, watch me go reverso changeo. Oh, man. You know, it took me 2 weeks to learn this one night. But, okay. I got to stop drinking that magic mushroom. I mean, stop eating those magic mushrooms. I'm going to do a little bit of magic. I'm going to put these, I don't want these to wash out against my wall. So I'm going to put these right in front of my suit here. Watch closely, ladies and gentlemen, as end number one. End number one will jump out of that hand. It'll jump over here to this hand. You just have to watch them when they jump. Here's end number two, ladies and gentlemen. It'll do the same thing. It'll go right through the core of the rope. It'll jump to this side. So that means the middle should be on this side, ladies and gentlemen. There's the middle right there. Now I'm going to hand this out to a virtual spectator. Here you go. Here you go, miss. Go ahead and examine that. Here you go. Take that. And I'm going to take this other piece of rope here that we got here, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Look at this. This is a little too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten this up just a little bit. I'm going to hand this out here to one of my virtual spectators. Here, go ahead and examine that, sir. Make sure that's okay. So we're going to play around a little bit with this right here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and as you can see, I'm doing this with 2 hands, 10 fingers, and a beautifully shaved head. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to tie a nice little big knot in here so you can actually see this out there in virtual TV land. I'll keep the knot really, really big so you can see that, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. If you give the rope a nice little massage with one hand, just like this, you can actually make that knot get a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller until you can barely see it. Oh, wait a minute here. Oh, there it is right there, guys. Right there in the middle. If you want to see what happens to that rope, all you got to do is give it a nice little shake. It'll come back just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. All right, so I'm going to untie this. I'm going to hand this out to another virtual spectator for them to examine. And I'm going to take this other rope here that we had in the beginning. Uh-oh. That was a sudden gust of gravity, folks. Sorry about that. We're going to take this other rope right here. So look, ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 ropes, all different sizes, just like everybody is on the planet. Everybody's a little different, ladies and gentlemen. We got that long one, we have that medium-sized one, and we have that small one. But if you look real closely, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that actually we're all the same, just like this rope right here. We're all unicorns. Yeah, it's hard being a human. Just be a unicorn, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you what we have here. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3. So I'm going to tie all these in a knot like this, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of tying the knot, me and my girlfriend, we're going to get married, but not to each other. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I was just politically incorrect right there. Blame that on Vince Wilson of Pose Magic Theater, okay? I'm
Wow.
going to tie all 3 of them in the knot. And I'm going to show you what we got here. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3 ropes all about the same size. Let's just wrap this up because I don't want to string you guys along anymore, okay? If I got time, I'll tell you another one. Ladies and gentlemen, if I snap my fingers, if you're looking for that, you know, when you snap your fingers on Zoom, it looks pretty good because you have that little slow motion type thing. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Here's number 1, that really, really small rope. Here's number 2, that really, really long rope. And there's number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that journey into a little bit of rope magic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap up with one last thing here, okay? So let me show you. Actually, a lot of times when I'm out performing, folks are amazed and they want to know, how did you do that? Folks sometimes say, man, teach me that, teach me something. So what I'm going to do to wrap up this evening, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you something that you guys can actually do, like to your boss. If there's any kids in the audiences, you can do this to your parents or your teachers. So this is a little homework for you guys, okay? So this is something I want you to go home and practice. So let me show you what I got for you. All right, first of all, let me make sure we're doing okay with the makeup and everything. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ready. Like I said, I call this homework. I wrote homework on here because this is what I want you to try at home before you go do this out in public. Let me show you what I have here. I have a piece of newspaper. I wrote homework on here just to remind you guys that you need to practice this at home. On the inside here, we have some ads. We have some ads on the back. So this is the trick that you can do on your boss, you virtual TV spectators, okay? Monday morning when you go to work, I want you to walk into the boss's office. Look for the most important looking document on the boss's desk. Pick it up and say, super boss person, don't worry about a thing. This is only an illusion. And whatever piece of important looking document that you have picked up off his desk, I just want you to rip that thing in half. And don't forget to tell the boss that Vince Wilson from Pose Magic Theater taught you this, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do here once again, walk into the boss's office on a Tuesday morning. If they have like some degrees or certificates on the wall, just walk over there, rip that thing off the wall. Say, don't worry about a thing, boss, super boss person. It's only an illusion. And rip that in half again, okay? By the way, folks, I want to let you know this is some serious black magic. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. Check it out, guys. After you rip the boss's important looking documents and all these little pieces like this, let me just rip this up one more time, a couple times here, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. All you guys have to do, and like I said, if there's any young folks out there, you can do this on the principal at school when you get back to school. Just say, hey, principal, here's my homework, and just rip it in half. Ladies and gentlemen, after you rip up the boss's important looking documents and they're looking at you all crazy and everything, all you guys have to do is say the magic words. The magic words are nuclear fissionable isotopes, molecular reactivity, counter three-phase, cyclotronics, uranium photosynthesizes. Yes, I know some of you said, what? The magic word is not what. You have to take a deep breath because there's about 50 syllables in that magic word. All you guys have to do is say, nuclear fissionable isotopes, molecular reactivity, counter three-phase, cyclotronics, uranium photosynthesizes. Take all the important documents that you just picked up off the boss's desk, squeeze them together lightly, ladies and gentlemen. Then all you have to do is slowly, ladies and gentlemen, just slowly see that homework is all back together. Let me just unwrap this one more time here. Here we go. Oh, we can get the fingers in there. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. We are all back together again, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, yes, yes. Hey guys, look, I want to just say, you guys have been a phenomenal audience, okay? You actually stayed, okay? I appreciate that, okay? And if there was anybody out there who didn't enjoy the show, just kindly raise your hand and smack yourself in the mouth too, okay? Now look, guys, I gotta be back in my coffin by dawn, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over to Vince Wilson of Pose Magic Theater. I think he's going to come on and do a dance for you guys, okay? So look, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for having me. I'm Baltimore magician Anthony Ware. Thank you, Vince, for creating Pose Magic Theater. We're having some fun, and we're looking forward to traveling with you on this journey as Pose Magic Theater continues to flourish and prosper. Thanks for all the crew members that hang out at Pose Magic Theater. And guys, thanks again, Vince. I appreciate it, guys. You guys have a great evening and a fantastic weekend.
So Anthony, before you go, where can they find you at? And how can they?
Oh, you guys. You guys can find me at anthonywareentertainment.com. And like Vince mentioned, if you Google Baltimore Magician, you'll find me, okay? That's anthonywareentertainment.com, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Anthony, so much. That is absolutely wonderful. Anthony, you blame me for way too much. There will be penalties in the future for that. I guess we'll let you go. Wow, I've not been ribbed that much since I was roasted last year, and the burns are still going from that. Thank you so much, Anthony. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. Please check out Anthony Ware. It's easy because, once again, he is the #1 magician technically in Baltimore. If you Google it, Baltimore magician, he almost always comes up first. So very envious of that. His SEO is off the hook. Anthony, that was wonderful. Now, I'd like to introduce our final Pose All-Star Magician tonight. Now, keep in mind that I was specifically referring to those who've been helping behind the scenes, who've been occasionally, though, like Kim Hall, they have performed on stage. Dave Thomen has also performed on stage. And some of the ones you've just seen tonight will also be performing at stage in the future when we reopen the physical location 100 feet above me, from above the haunted library here at the Baltimore Hotel. But all the performers who've ever performed at Pose, and everyone who's helped behind the scenes, and everyone who's shown support and been there, they are all stars. They are definitely performers. And one of my newest friends who is here with us this evening is up next. I hope he's ready. That is Scott Stoolmiller. That's right. Don't worry, Scott. I was just making make sure you're still in there. I wasn't remembering your name. Scott, he's doing a great job. He's actually perfecting his virtual magic shows, and he's here to show those skills off this evening for you. I'm gonna bring him in. We're gonna talk to him a little bit before I spotlight him for our YouTube promotion. And I do want to take a time for once again remembering to mention Doctors Without Borders. If you go to our website, sign up for our newsletter, go into the links, the description of the channel or on the Facebook page, you probably link to from here. You can find a link directly to it. We're trying to raise money for Doctors Without Borders. It's a wonderful, amazing, incredible cause, and you should absolutely support them. They help people internationally, people who cannot otherwise help themselves easily with medical support. All right, Doctors Without Borders is a wonderful nonpartisan organization that you should definitely support and throw a little their way. They can use it. It's the most important thing I can say this weekend and get away with it. Doctors Without Borders, support them right now. Find the link. All right, it's on our face. It's on our go to posemagic.com. Go under events, and you'll see a link there under the news and events page for Doctors Without Borders. Definitely support this wonderful, amazing organization. And without further ado, Scott, I believe that you're in here. I'll ask you to unmute yourself so you can talk to me. How you doing, Scott? Hello.
You got me?
Gotcha. All right, fantastic. Hey, Scott. So I'm going to bring you up. We're going to continue our conversation. You're now spotlit. How you doing, Scott? Yep, I see you. Scott is in his Instagram format tonight. So that is that's right. He's going to be an Instagram star and soon on TikTok. Now, I don't dance, despite what Anthony said, but Scott does. All right, so make sure you check his TikTok channel out as soon as you can. He's an amazing performer. You should see what he does with that hat. It's absolutely amazing. Scott, so tell our audience a little bit about yourself and how we first met and how you became associated with Pose Magic and what you've been up to and where people can find you.
Well, I've been in magic now for about 35 years. Been doing it semi-professionally for the past 21 years. I saw last year Vince was advertising for walk-around strollers to come to help out with Pose. I went down to Lord Baltimore and interviewed with him, and the interview went great, and hired on the spot, so to speak. And I've had a great time working with him since.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much, John, for sharing that with us. Yeah, you've been great, and you've been obviously improving your magic even more, despite all those years of experience. You know, you're one of those magicians who realize, you know, I can always be better still. I can never just settle for where I am. I can always do more. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Scott Stoolmiller. Scott, you're live and you're ready to go. You need a volunteer.
I don't need a volunteer, just me tonight.
All right, fantastic. You're good to go.
All right, thanks. Well, hello, everybody, and thanks again, Vince, for having me on. And just remind everybody to please donate to Doctors Without Borders. It's an awesome, excuse me, it's an awesome cause. They can use all the money they can get. Excuse me. Oh, sorry, I had a club sandwich for lunch. It's not sitting too well. I apologize for that. But yeah, please go and donate as much as you can. They really need it. If anybody knows me, they know that I love magic and I love card magic. So that's what I'd like to try to do this evening, is to entertain you with a little bit of card magic. To start off with, I'd like to use a few cards. I'll start off with 4 aces. This is going to be more of a memory experiment, actually. I'll make sure that everybody can see them. Now, as a memory experiment, I'm actually going to tell you what to remember and when to remember it, okay? All right, here we go. All right. Now, first card we're going to place over here is the Ace of Spades. Now, of course, that leaves 1, 2, 3 cards left. Next card, this one you didn't really need to remember, Ace of Clubs. Watch where it goes. Okay, well, you probably didn't see that. Sorry, that's probably out of camera there. Anyway, if I asked you where the Ace of Clubs was, about 95% of you would say it's on the bottom. The other 5% would say it's probably on top because you think I'm trying to trick you. But if I was to ask you if you're sure the black card's over here, I bet none of you would actually say no. You would all claim that yes, the black cards are over here. Well, if I actually turn them over and look, unfortunately, no, the red cards are on this side and the black ones are over here. Now, this is one bad thing about doing virtual magic, is the fact that I can't see you and I can't interact with you directly. And I like doing that. I like doing close-up magic. I like being personal with people. The one thing that's not a drawback, which is kind of a good thing, is the fact that I don't have to deal directly with people that are trying to screw me up. You're always going to find people that are not happy with what you're doing, or they just want to make fun of you. Basically, they're trying to make you mess up. A good example of this was when I was about 4 or 5 years ago. I went to my son's high school. He had a magician there, and the magician was very good. He was entertaining. He was very good. I loved watching him. But there was one kid that was up front. He wasn't paying attention. He was heckling the magician, and the magician took it. He didn't do anything. But then later on the show, the magician actually called the kid up on stage. I couldn't believe it. The kid came up on stage, and the magician said, "Here, take the cards. I want you to mix them up." And when he said that, he turned away and started talking to the audience. I don't know why he did that, but as soon as he turned away, I saw the kid take the deck and he started cutting it into 3 separate piles. I didn't know what he was doing, but then I saw it. He was actually taking face-up cards and shuffling them into face-down cards. I thought, oh no, why is he doing this? But he didn't stop there. He went and again, he shuffled more cards face-up into face-down, just like that. I looked over, and the magician actually kind of looked over slightly. He kind of saw what was going on, but then the kid slammed the deck down and said, "All right, I'm done." The magician turned back and said, "So did you mix up the cards?" The kid says, "Oh, I mixed them up all right." The magician said, He picked them up and he looked at them. He saw that he had cards that were back to back, face to face, He said, "You're right. You did a very good job mixing these up." Kid said, "I sure did." Magician just stood there and shook his head. He saw that he had some cards that were face up. He saw that he had some cards that were actually face down. He saw there was actually face to face too. He said, "Well, you know what, kid, you did a really good job mixing these up, but I got to find a way that I can actually unmix them quicker than what you mix them up." He said, "How about if we just do this? How about if we just take and make a simple cut, just like this?" And then he spread the deck, and sure enough, all the cards righted themselves again. With that, the kid's mouth dropped open. The magician took his deck of cards, he stuck it in his box, and he put the box in his pocket, and he was done for the evening. That was it. So thanks a lot, guys. Oh, wait. Guess if I got time for one more? Do I have time for one more, Vince? Okay, all right. We'll do one more. Like I said, I like cards. I like card magic. When I started doing card magic, I promised myself that I would never use sleight of hand in a game against my friends. And I never have. But there was one time in college, there was a group of kids that would get together once a week and play poker. And they would have somebody that they would pick out from the school, show up and actually play the game and bet money, and they would always take his money and they would lose. It never happened to me, so I didn't really care. But finally, one time they actually did it, and they did it to one of my friends. You know what? Big mistake. That's when I knew I had to do something about it. So I went and I found the guys, and I said, "Hey, do you care if I play the game with you some night?" They said, "Sure. Just make sure you bring a lot of money." I said, "Oh, don't worry. I'll bring the money, all right." So the next week, I showed up for the game. And I came in, sat down, and the guy said, "All right, ready to play?" I said, "Yes, I am." I said, "But I don't have a lot of time. This has got to be very quick." I said, "First of all, I'd like to play just one hand if I could." They said, "Okay." I said, "But I would like to do the dealing if that's all right." And they said, "Well, okay." I said, "First of all, I'll tell you what. I want to start off by giving everybody an ace. So I want my ace to be the ace of spades. So that's the ace I'm going to have. I'll start off with, I'll tell you what, I'll bet you $10 that I can find the other aces in this deck just by spreading it without even looking at the faces." They said, "Okay, you're on." The deck, I spread it, and sure enough, there's the ace of clubs, there's the ace of spades, and there's the ace of hearts. So that was some money I won right off the bat. I said, "Okay, I'm going to give you on the left, we're going to get an ace. I'm going to give you the ace of hearts." So I gave him the ace of hearts. The guy in the center, he was going to get the ace of diamonds. So I gave him the ace of diamonds. And the guy on my right, he got the last one. He got the ace of clubs. And, oh, they said I need 3 also. Okay. I said, "All right, guys, this is the game. We're going to play 5-card poker. There is no draw." And the one guy said, "Wait a second, you only gave us 4 cards. I said, "Okay, yeah, you're right. I did only give you 4 cards. I apologize for that." I gave this guy a card. I gave the guy in the center a card. I gave the guy on my right a card. I put the deck down. They said, "Well, aren't you going to take a card?" I said, "No, it's okay. I don't need one. I'll just stick with what I got." He said, "Okay." I said, "Okay, remember, guys, 5 cards. There is no drawing. You take what you get. That's what we're playing with." He said, "Okay." I pointed to the guy on my left. I said, "All right, turn over your cards and look. Let's see what you got." Well, the guy turned over his cards, and let's see what he had. He had a pair of 8s, and with a king, queen, and a 5. But he looked up. He said, "Hey, where did my ace go?" I said, "I don't know, man. It was my turn to watch it." I pointed to the guy in the center. I said, "Okay, it's your turn." He took the cards and he turned them over, and he had a pair of 3s with a queen, 10, and a 7. He looked at me and said, "Where did my ace go?" I said, "I'm sorry, dude. What's my turn to watch it? I don't know." The guy on my right, I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he said, "I have anything to worry about?" I said, "Hey, I didn't touch your cards. It's all up to you." He turned the deck over, and he looked, and he actually had a pair of 6s, a joker, which was wild, which made 3 of a kind, 7 and a 5. So far he won, but he looked at me and he said, "Man, where did my ace go?" said, dude, I'm sorry, but it wasn't my turn to win. So let me tell you what, let me see what I got. So I turned over my cards and looked. I said, oh, you know what? I got good news and bad news. The good news is I still have my ace of spades. The bad news is, well, bad news for you guys is I also have the ace of hearts, ace of diamonds, and ace of clubs. My forward time beats everything that you guys have. So I reached out, I grabbed up all the money, I stuck it in my pockets, and I got out of there as quickly as I could. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the only time I've ever used my powers for evil other than good.
Thank you
Thanks
so
a lot,
much,
guys.
Scott.
Thanks a lot. That's all I have. Again, please donate to Doctors Without Borders. Awesome cause. And thanks again, Vince, for having me in tonight. I appreciate it.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much. Yep. So, all right, everyone. That was amazing. So that was the Post Magic players. Not everyone could be here tonight. Some to some degree due to time restraints and other issues with actually doing virtual shows and that sort of thing. All right. Now, very soon, I want to be introducing you to Randy Shine, but we're going to take a break. Randy is on at 8 p.m. this evening. So here's what you can do. Go to the restroom or bathroom in your case, unless you're staying in, in a building that has restrooms instead of bathrooms. But imagine you're at home because you're social distancing like you're supposed to be doing. All right? Because that's a thing that's still going on. So go to the bathroom, grab a drink, alcohol or otherwise, and come back at 8 p.m. to see the incredibly amazing magic of Randy Shine. And I will see you at 8. All right, well, we're going to start in a couple of minutes. Got 2 minutes to go. We'll probably bring Randy in just a moment. Remember, there's a several seconds delayed.
Are we on now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Like on Facebook too, or YouTube? I mean,
YouTube. That is correct.
you can hear me on YouTube. It's good, YouTube world.
All right, well, we're going to start in a couple of minutes. Got 2 minutes to go. We'll probably bring Randy in. Yeah, mute your YouTube. Just a moment. There we go. Remember, there's a several seconds delayed. You got to mute your YouTube.
Hello?
Hey, Randy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I just got out of my YouTube. I see something that says people in waiting room. Is that for me or you?
That's for me. Yep, you're co-hosting too, but yep. Okay. I'll probably bring in, we got Sean G and Stephanie. So you're spotlit right now. I'm going to cancel the spotlight. Bring up gallery. There we go.
I don't see the gallery mode.
We'll take it just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait for YouTube to catch up.
Peter Samelson is in the waiting room.
Oh, there we go. All right, so it's going to be, all right, fantastic. Okay, we're making it work.
Now I cannot see it. I cannot see anyone else, Vince.
All right.
I only can see you. Okay. Stephanie. There we go.
I'm not. You got me there?
Yes, we got a few people in here. We got, Peter, I want to put you back into the waiting room, though.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right. Okay, so we have, hi, Sean, how you doing? Wave hi to there you go. And we have Stephanie, and we have David, who's invisible. But David, can you hear us? All right, Randy, you can hear me, right? Okay, fantastic. All right, so we got some volunteers. So volunteers, here's what you need to do right now. Mute yourself for now, all right? We need volunteers for Randy's show. And Randy's going to start the show. Randy, I'm going to put you on spotlight until you need a volunteer. You let me know you need a volunteer, all right? And then we're going to let everyone jump in. So whoever talks, they're going to be temporarily spotlight basically right now. Mm-hmm. Is that all right?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, fantastic. All right, I'm putting Randy on spotlight right now. Randy, you're spotlit. Okay, whatever that means. All right, so Randy, so we've known each other for about a year now. Actually, yeah. It's been more than a year now, right? We first met at a holiday party, technically, in person, the year before, in 2018, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yep. And you're another one of those magicians who never settles for doing the same stuff over and over again. Mm-hmm. It is you're always changing, evolving, that sort of thing. And we've had a lot of brainstorming sessions the past year. It's been a lot of fun. And I've always told people that one of my my favorite shows, one of my favorite shows at Pose. Like, of course, I can't pick favorites, you understand.
Right.
One of my favorite shows at Pose has always been yours, because you had that what the show itself was great, and then the after show, absolutely phenomenal. Like, just brought those people in this little circle, this intimate circle of magic, and you made them feel like they're sitting there with their best friend, and just hanging out and chilling and doing a little bit of close-up magic. It was absolutely wonderful. One of my favorite after shows, for sure, VIP shows. So why don't you tell our guests a little bit about, of course, you've been on Penn and Teller. All
Yes.
right. Yep. You've been on TV several times. You were on TV for Pose Magic as well. All right. Tell our viewers a little bit about Randy Shine.
Well, my name is Randy Shine. I'm from the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, better known as Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'll talk a little bit about myself during my show, but I've been performing magic full-time as a professional for the past 16 years. College markets, cruise ships, corporate events, all types of events. And well, you know what? Let's just get into the show, because I'll talk a little bit more about myself. Are y'all ready, everyone? Or are you ready, Vince?
Sorry, I muted myself just so I didn't interrupt you by accident.
Yes, I said,
all
are
right,
you
yes,
ready?
we're ready, Randy. So as soon as I want all the volunteers to go ahead and unmute yourselves now, but just be silent for now until Randy needs a volunteer, and then I'll turn off the spotlight and you can have your volunteers. How's that sound?
All right, so Vince, I want to start off, and everyone, I like to start off with a quick warm-up exercise just to get my fingers in tune and ready. I'm going to tap my fingers three times, and have an object appear on my fingertip. 1, 2, 3, right there. Can you see that? I saw that facial expression. It's a thimble. Now I could take this thimble and toss it in the air, and it comes out here. Toss it in this air, and it comes over here. If I shake, it goes back here. You see that? Good. I shake again, it goes right there. Now if I tap 2 times, 1, 2, I can split that, and I have 2. Now the object is to get this one to go from here to there. There you go. I think I'm warmed up now. So that's my fingers are warmed up. But now let's get my entire, that was 2 fingers. Let's get my entire hands warmed up. Now this right here uses 3 coins, 2 hands, and just 1 magician. This is the thing that really got me into magic when I saw a person perform this in my formative years. If you can see these coins, spectators, just nod your head. Yes, good. Coin number 1, don't blink. Just a puff of air. It's going down. 2 to go. I saw that smile, Sean. Coin number 2, at the speed of sound. That's 1 down. Now coin number 3, it's not going to vanish. It's just going to travel from here to there. That's coin number 3 right here. Coin number 2 is just about there. And the last coin, coin number 1, if you watch here, it will slowly materialize right before your eyes. Coin number 3. Thank you. Sean, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing well, Sean. Where are you from?
I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, so are you currently in Jacksonville?
Yes, I am.
Okay, wow, Sean. I have some friends and family there in Jacksonville. Did you have any idea that you will be participating in this right now?
No, I
Okay.
just noticed he was looking for volunteers. So I was like, you know what? Why not?
Okay.
Sounds fun.
Thank you. Now, Sean, are you familiar with cards?
Yes.
Okay. Now, there is a relationship between time and cards. There are 52 cards in the deck. 52 weeks in a year. There are 4 suits, the clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. 4 seasons, summer, winter, fall, spring. There are 13 cards in the suit, which corresponds to the 13 cycles of the moon. There are 12 court cards. Those are the Jack, Queen, King, 12 months of the year. Now, if you were to add up the pips of all the cards, ace being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack is 11, Queen is 12, King is 13, you'll get 364. Throw in a joker, 365, the number of days in a year. But there's always 2 jokers in a fresh deck of cards. That second joker accounts for leap year. Cards come in 2 colors, black and red, which stands for the duality of life. Day, night, good, evil, male, female. Sean, don't ask me which one is the evil one. So what does all this mean besides I'm a nerd for knowing all of that? It means cards are ancient, mysterious, and ritualistic. And I'm going to do something mysterious with this packet of cards here. There are only 4 cards. And this has everything to do with your imagination and reality. Now, right here, I have 4 kings. The king of clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. Are you familiar with those 4 cards, Sean?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now, Sean, with your imagination, you're going to, no, actually, no, but just tell me, black or red? Because cards are black or red, as I said. Just name a color, black or red.
Black.
Black. So, and with your imagination, we're going to remove the black cards. That leaves us with the red kings, the king of hearts and the king of diamonds. With your imagination, just watch here as I remove one of those kings. Which one do you think I removed?
The king of diamonds.
You know what? You're absolutely correct. I'm going to take that king of diamonds, turn it around, and place it back. As I said, this is the intersection between imagination and reality. And I knew, because this card, there's only one card face up, turned around. That is the king of diamonds. Can you see that?
Yes, I can.
But we can go further than that, because that king of diamonds is the only blue back card in the deck.
That's awesome.
But we can even go further than that, Sean, because I made the other kings disappear. Nothing here.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was awesome, man.
Thank you. Thank you. So, a little bit about me. People often ask me, how did I get started in magic? Well, I got started in magic not when I was young. I was well adjusted when I was young. I got started in magic when I was in graduate school at Penn State. I was studying health education research. And every Tuesday, me and a group of other guys would get together and we would show each other magic tricks. After receiving my master's degree in health education research, I moved to South Africa. And I was doing research at the University of the Western Cape down there. And for about a year, a little more than a year, then I came back to the United States, started working for the University of Pennsylvania in the Department of Epidemiology and Biostatistics doing research. At the same time, I was working on my PhD in public health. After a year and a half of doing all of that, I said, I want to do magic tricks for a living. So I quit my job, quit the graduate program, and I started performing magic full time. And that is a true story. But when I was in South Africa, I did see a magician while I was down there in South Africa. Now, this is exactly the trick I saw this magician perform. He didn't use any coins or anything. He had these are cowrie shells. If you can see them, nod your head if you can. Now, cowrie shells in certain African civilizations they were used, ancient African civilizations, I should say, they were used as a form of currency. Then in other African civilizations, legend had it that they had magical principles. And that's what that gentleman told me, and I didn't believe him until he showed me this. He placed a rope separating 3 here and 3 here. And he said to me, whatever you do, don't blink. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. 1, 2, 3. Deep breath, let it out. And as you can see, 1 traveled from here to here. We have 4 shells on this side, 2 shells on that side. One more time, now you know what to expect. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. 1, 2. Deep breath. 1 over here, 5 over here. One last time. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. This last one right here. And all 6 right there. There you go. Thank you. So, hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Hey, how about you?
I'm doing well. Stephanie, from what I understand, I do remember you were at my other show.
Oh.
Yes. And as I said, cards are ancient, mysterious, and ritualistic. But we're going to do something else. As a magician, or any magician, I should say, magicians are the most honest people that you will ever meet. You know that?
Yes.
And do you know why?
Because they tell you up front that they're lying to you.
Exactly. We tell you that we're lying, and for some reason you believe the fact that we're lying, but then you don't believe what happened.
Yes.
But everyone tells a lie in their lives at some point in time. Everyone, whether it's a small little white lie or a big lie. Some people lie to get out of trouble. Some people lie not to hurt someone's feelings. There's several reasons why we lie, and I'm not going to say all lies are good, all lies are bad. That's not up to me to decide. But that's what this is about, because magicians, not only are we good liars, we're good at telling if someone's going to lie or not. And that's what this is about right here. So, Stephanie, I'm going to mix up the cards and you tell me when to stop before I get to the end, okay? I will take off my glasses and I'm going to close my eyes, okay? I will still face this way so you won't think that I'm lying and think I have cameras over here, okay? My eyes are closed. Tell me when to stop before I get to the end.
Stop.
Stephanie, yes or no, can you see that card?
Yes.
You can identify it?
Yes.
Okay, good. My glasses back on. There you go. Now, Stephanie, you're going to play a role. You're either going to be a liar or a truth teller. Okay. Don't tell me, but decide on one of them now.
Okay.
You have one. I'm going to ask you some questions. And if you decided to be a liar, you lie all the time. If you decided to be a truth teller, I want you to tell the truth all the time until I tell you otherwise. Got it?
Got it.
Okay. All right. Let us begin. This is going to be exciting. Okay. Stephanie, we'll start off with an easy question. Do you like coffee?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Stephanie, Have you ever cheated on a test?
No.
Okay. When I said cheated and paused, your mind went elsewhere.
No.
Stephanie, have you ever lied to someone to get out of doing something?
Yes.
All right. Stephanie, the card that you are thinking of, that you saw, was that a red card?
Yes.
And see, that's all the information I needed to know. Because when I was asking you those questions, I was trying to determine if you were a truth teller or a liar. But one thing I did ascertain out of asking those questions, asking you those questions, is that you couldn't lie to save your life because you're a truth teller. Am I correct? You were telling the truth all the time. And the card is red. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And the card is a 7 of diamonds. Am I correct?
Alex.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
And we need more honest people like you in life. We really do. Thank you. Thank you. Is Dave still on? I know we had someone else, a Dave. Is he still on? I guess not. That's okay. Much like any other art form, because I do consider magic to be an art form, we have our classics. In music, you have classical music, and you have classical rock songs, classical hip hop songs, classical bluegrass songs. You have your classical styles of painting. You have your classic novels. Well, I'll let you show you a classic, and with my own little twist. And we're going to use these three balls here. They say the hands are quicker than the eye. That is not true. And some people say magic works because it's based on math. That's partially true, but it's a different type of math that we use. Let me explain, because it doesn't make sense. Right here, you can see these 3 balls. This is 1, that's 2. But if I take 1 away and place it in my pocket, snap my fingers, I have 1, 2, 3 again. See, it doesn't make sense in the natural world, but in the magical world, it does make sense. Again, 3 balls, that's 1, that's 2. We'll take this ball, place it in my pocket, snap my fingers, we have 1, 2, 3 again. Perhaps we'll do it a slightly little different with 1 ball right here. We'll take this ball, vanish this from here to here. We'll do it with 2 on the count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. From here to here. Now we're going to end where we began. Sean, can you see these 3 balls? That's 1, that's 2. We'll take this ball, place it in the pocket, snap my fingers. I know some people think I have 3. Some people think I have 2. Some people think I have 1. But actually, I have none. They're all gone now. Thank you. You know what? I wasn't planning on doing this next effect, but I will do it. I like to be spontaneous. This is something, a trick that I learned when I lived in South Africa. And it uses this bag. And when I rub my fingers together, that creates friction. Friction creates heat. Heat creates energy. When I snap my fingers, an object appears in the palm of my hand. Can you see it, Sean? Yes or no? No, that's because it's invisible, Sean. Sean, I want you to count to 3 out loud. I'm gonna toss this invisible object in the air and attempt to catch it in the bag. Go.
1, 2, 3.
Voila. There's nothing in the bag. Can you see the egg in the bag, everyone? Yes. The egg is definitely there. And if you were here, you could touch it. But now it's completely gone. Nothing's on the outside, nothing's on the inside. Completely gone. Now, Sean, it's your turn. Nothing. Hold out your hand, Sean, like that. Good. You're way in Jacksonville. But when I snap my fingers, the essence of that egg is on the palm of your hand. Sean, I want you to toss it towards the bag. Good job, Sean. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Well, they say that eyes are the windows to the soul. It's also the windows to the conscious and subconscious. And Sean, since I would use you for that, I want to use you for this next thing. Do you have a calculator on your phone, Sean?
Yes, I do.
All right, turn it on the calculator. We tend to think, humans think in terms of words, numbers, and images, or a combination of those three. And this is a demonstration of that, dealing with the most difficult, which is numbers. Sean, so you have your calculator open, am I correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Sean, I don't need to see it. Okay, I want you to type in a 3-digit number. However, and you'll find out why in a moment, I want you to type in a 3-digit number where the first digit is larger than the last digit. For example, 321, 321, the first digit is larger than the last digit. Do that now. Any 3-digit number you want that the first digit is larger than the last digit.
Done.
You got it? Hit the subtraction sign.
Okay.
Okay. Now I want you to reverse that number. For example, if you thought of 321, you would type in 123. So whatever number you typed in, you just reverse it.
Done.
Done. Now hit the equal sign.
Gotcha.
Done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now take a look at that new number you have. Don't say it, but you have it.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a new number that you could not have possibly known prior to this. Am I correct?
Correct.
All right. Come a little bit closer to the camera. Because I said the eyes are the windows to the soul. And I'm looking at your eyes, and I just want you to think of that first digit of that new number. And blink. What was that first digit?
4.
I knew that. Now focus on the second digit. Take a deep breath. Now focus on the last digit. Blink. I'm committed. Sean, what is the number on your calculator?
495.
That's exactly what I have here.
Oh.
Thank you. So I'm almost done, but I want to share something with you. You know, people counterfeit money. I'm sure you've heard of that. And not to be political, but the incident that just happened in the country was sparked because the person was assumed to have a counterfeit bill and whatever. But let me tell you how you could determine if you have a counterfeit dollar bill. Dollar bills are the most counterfeited piece of American currency because people expect the 20, 50, or 100 to be counterfeit. But how many people actually check a $1 bill because you think it's not worth anything? But if you have 100 $1 bills, that's equivalent to one $100 bills. And so it's still the same amount. You just have more of them. Now with a $1 bill, you cannot hold it up to the light because they don't have any watermarks or no strips like that. You could even write on it, and that won't do anything either. But this is how you can tell if you have a counterfeit $1 bill. You take a marker and you just punch a hole right through it. That's it, from one side to the other side. Now you're saying that no, you just ruined a $1 bill. However, if this is a real $1 bill, the only thing you have to do is you pull it out, and there is no hole, no puncture in that bill. So that's how you know if you have a legitimate $1 bill. But there's another way, and this is called the fold test. You take a $1 bill, you fold it left to right, up and down, left to right, up and down, snap. And if it is a real $1 bill, when you open it up, that $1 bill will change into a $100 bill right there. Now, I tell you what, Stephanie's getting in her wallet. So get a $1 bill, fold it left to right, up and down, left and right, up and down, snap, open it up, and in the great words of someone I know, it won't work, but you'll have a lot of fun trying. That's my time. My name is Randy Shine. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Randy. Thank you so much. That was absolutely wonderful. Randy is definitely one of my favorite magicians. I can still hear you, Randy, if you want to say hi to everyone.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on tonight. That was absolutely amazing. And our next performer is also amazing and a good friend of mine. Randy, thank you again. And I can't wait to see you perform. Randy will be back in a few weeks for our online magic shows. Also coming up is Paul Prater in a few weeks as well, I'm sure. And I'm going to be co-hosting, or not co-hosting, but co-guesting with the Mystery Collection with Paul tomorrow. It's a podcast sort of on Facebook. Look up the Mystery Collection with Paul Noffsinger. And me and Paul will be on there talking about ghost tours and the paranormal, because I am also, after all, here from the Haunted Library. All right, so I'm very excited to introduce my next guest. All right, I want to bring him into the fray now. And if you're a volunteer, feel free to stay in the volunteer place. And also, if you haven't volunteered yet, and magicians are welcome as well, feel free to jump into the Zoom link. It's available in the chat and also the description for this video. Feel free to jump into the Zoom link, and you can be a volunteer if needed. But I'm going to bring in Peter Samelson now, my good friend Peter. Peter, you here?
I'm here, yes, I hope.
All right, I want to put you in the spotlight, the well-deserved spotlight.
Uh-oh.
And there you are. Peter, thank you so much for coming on tonight. So Peter, you have some experience in magic, from what I understand. So Peter, you have performed all over the United States. You performed at the Magic Castle. You performed at Monday Night Magic on a regular basis. And all over, you've performed over the world. You do cruise ships and corporate shows and private shows. Is there anything magic related you do not do or have not done yet?
One of the favorite things for me is being able to do close-up magic for people. And there's been You know, we've been doing Monday Night Magic now for 23 years this month, June. We're not open this month, but hopefully we'll be open again. We've been in 9 different theaters over the course of that 23 years. One theater twice, so we came back to the one theater twice. You know, my favorite place to work is actually a little place up in called Lake O'Hara. It's up in the middle of the Canadian Rockies, and I love being up there. It's one of the favorite places. I've been going there for 40 years, and it's my favorite place because you're at 5,000 feet. There's no telephones, there's no cell phones, there's no planes flying overhead, there's no television, no radio. You get out and you walk all day and you explore and you come back, and it's like you have died. You go to heaven and find they have a wine list. So it's fabulous.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
So you guys still there? You guys still there? You want to do something?
We have some
Let's do
volunteers
something.
in here. They're just muted themselves. So volunteers, please unmute yourselves if you'd like to participate.
Terrific, actually. So I see we've got a couple of folks that are here. I can't see everybody because my screen's a little small, but let's just try and do this. So Vince, choose somebody for me. Who will we use?
All right, so we have Stephanie and Sean.
All right, let's use Sean. Let's use Sean for the moment. Yep, there we go. And if you want to, you can put them on screen with me, or you can leave me just as it is. It's fine, however you like to do it. It's great with me. Are you card players? Sean, you card player?
I like to play some Texas Hold'em once in a while.
Terrific. So that would be a yes. You're a card player. So here's the idea. I'm gonna choose some cards for you. We'll see how this works for you here. Let me sort of, I'll split this up here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I have let's see, we'll use that one and we'll use that one and a couple more. Yeah, that's good. And one. We'll keep it simple to begin with, just because so we can keep the life moving ahead here. So I'm going to start off with a bunch of cards. We're going to start off with 4 cards. I'll arrange them so you can tell them apart, make it easy for you to be able to tell them apart. You'll notice that we have here we have 2 pairs. We have a pair of 7s and a pair of kings. You also notice that there's a red and black of each of these. And you also notice that if you look closely, that there's one of every suit. So far, so good?
Yep.
Sean,
Yes,
question number 1, just see if you've been paying attention. How many cards did we start with?
Started with 4.
Oh, I can see I'm dealing with a professional. That's right. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. And of these 4 cards, 2 of them were kings and 2 of them were 7s, correct? So here's the interesting idea for you. There were 2 and 4 cards. 2 of them were kings, 2 of them 7s. Do you by any chance happen to remember what the red 7 was? I'm helping you.
Heart.
Yes, exactly right. I'm here to look, Sean, I'm here to make you look good. This is really the idea behind this whole thing. So your job, Sean, is to keep your right eye on that 7 of hearts. Now there's another 7 in this packet. If you happen to remember what that was, it would be what color? It would be a black color, and it would be the
7 of spades.
Yes. Oh man, you are right on top of this all. So I want you to take your left eye, if you would please, and keep your left eye on that 7 of spades. So that leaves us the 2 cards there, which are the 7 of hearts and 7 of spades. And these are the other 2 cards of the kings. We're going to put these cards face to face because they are face cards and they go face to face. Now, if that was the hearts and the spades, you happen to remember what these 2 were over here. This would be the king of clubs over here, and that would be the king of diamonds. So hearts and spades, diamonds and clubs, and these go face to face like this. Now, magic is really about distraction. So if I wave this up and sort of in the way of the camera, kind of like this, everybody looks at this moving object. But you had a job. Your job was to keep your eye on these cards. But because when you look up over here, I had to make sure that you were not being distracted, that you were actually still keeping your eyes on those 7s, which is why I made sure that this was the 7 of spades and the 7 of hearts up over here. And that down over here, this would be the king of diamonds, and that would be the king of clubs. And you know what this tells me about you? This tells me a little bit about you, and I like to do it that way. It tells me that you're going to have to pay a lot more attention during the show tonight. That's what that tells me. We have somebody else on board here. I think we had Stephanie. Is that right, Stephanie? You're sitting out there.
Yes, that's it. Hello.
Were you watching that? Did that amuse you? I hope.
It is used. Yes, it was
Excellent,
good.
excellent. So Vince, I don't know if you can get Stephanie on the same screen with me right now, but let's try
Not
something
at the
here.
moment.
Not in a moment. Okay, so we'll do it just like this. So Stephanie, I have a question for you. Are you a person who believes in freedom of choice? Or do you believe that life is just destiny?
Oh, freedom of choice.
Good, me too. So I'm going to ask you to exercise that freedom of choice here. I have here a deck of playing cards. I'll spread them out so you can see them. And I'd like to have you, can you kind of see those? Can you see those cards? So let me move them a little bit farther over here so you can see them all. I have a bunch of cards here. I could move my fingers along this deck like this, and you can just say stop wherever you like. Or if you can actually see a card that you like, I want you to just tell me which card you want me to touch.
Oh, so I can name the
See them
card?
there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the three of hearts.
The three of hearts? The three of hearts, that one right there.
Yeah.
Now, this is a question of freedom of choice, because if I were to ask you to choose a card, that wouldn't be a free choice if I had them face down, but face up, that's a free choice. So here's the question for you. Would you like to change your mind? Or are you happy with that card, that three of hearts?
Let's change it.
Okay.
To the six of spades.
There is a six of spades right next to the jack of clubs. That's correct.
Yes.
Six of spades. Are you happy with that card, or do you want to change your mind?
No, I'm happy.
No, that's the card you like? Okay, great. So Stephanie, I'll tell you what I will do at this point is I am going to use a pen, and I'm going to write your name on the face of that card. I'm going to write it nice and large so that you can actually see it right across the center of that card right there. I'll write it, and it's Stephanie. Is that right? STEPHANIE. And your phone number is?
Yeah, you're not getting that. No.
Yeah, you know, that never works in New York. Clearly it doesn't work on the internet either when everybody's paying attention exactly. So I'll just draw a little flower here just to sort of do that, because, you know, there we go, just so we kind of separate apart like that. Now, Stephanie, I have a question for you. Out of all of these cards that were out here, you looked at one, you said three of hearts first, and then you said, no, I don't want the three of hearts, and you decided to change your mind. And then down in here, there was a card, the jack of clubs. Right next to the jack of clubs, there was the six of spades, and that's the card that you liked.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah. Now, did you feel that that was a fair choice? You had an opportunity to change your mind. Yeah. So would it be safe to say that there's only one card like that with your name on it in the entire universe?
Absolutely.
Only one card like
Only
that
one.
In all of the interwebs. Only one card like that in the deck of playing cards.
Absolutely.
Yes, you were much more certain about the universe than you are about the deck of playing cards, but I will let that go by. Now, finding your card face up would be easy to do, because I would just go through it and I would find one that's got your name written across it like that. Finding it face down would be a lot more difficult. I would actually have to try and sense what that card was, or count. Maybe I remembered exactly where that was, but I would have I'm getting a sense that we're close to it. I don't know about you, but are you getting the sense? Are you able to see that there seems to be one card that sort of stands out from all the rest of the cards?
Yeah, it might be that one that's different.
Yes. You know, that's the interesting thing, because out of these cards, there's a wide range of cards. They're all red except for one card in the center of that deck. And so the question I have for you is, was there some reason that you decided that you were going to choose that card, that one card, that six of spades? With your name on it?
Spoke to me. It spoke to me.
It's destiny. I thought you believed in freedom of choice. Okay, we're gonna go a step further. I'm gonna take this just a little bit step further. So Stephanie, I'm gonna set your card down, but it's gonna go right over here, right over there. I'm sorry. Can you see that where that is? Yeah. Okay. That sits right over here like that. And Sean, I'm just gonna ask you, as I'm running my fingers sort of down this deck, if you would just shout out the word stop somewhere.
Stop.
Right there? Okay,
Yes.
great. So you selected a card for me. That's Stephanie's card sitting right there. This is going to be a card for me. I get to look at it because it's my card, and that card is the Jack of Spades, not the clubs, but the spades, but I appreciate that. And I'm going to write my name on that Jack of Spades, but instead of putting it on the face, I'm going to put it on the back. So I'll put and I'm Peter. And Stephanie, my phone number in New Jersey is 201-787-9310.
You get a lot of phone calls. Put it on the, okay.
So I've written my name across the back of that card, which was the Jack of Spades, the way you wrote yours across the face of your card. And now all you need to do is say the word go, and these two cards will change places at your command.
Go.
I slowed it down so you could follow it. Actually, it's interesting though, because the truth of the matter is you wrote your name on that card, which is the blue card, which was the 6 of spades. My card was the Jack of Spades. So your card, the 6, my card, the Jack, all you need to do is say the word go, and I will show you a miracle. When I do that, it doesn't cause 2 cards to move, it causes half a card to move. So I took the face off of my card, that Jack of Spades, and I moved it over here onto your card. And I took the face off of your card, that 6 of Spades with your name written on it, and I moved it over here onto my card. So this card now has your name on this side, my name on that side. And when we're offline, I'll get your address and I'll send this to you so you have the phone call.
Good.
Thank you. Thanks. You know, that's the wonderful thing about magic. You get all caught up in it. You stop thinking about things that are going on in the real world, things like where the car is parked and what they're doing to it right now. And that's rare in our lives. Usually we start thinking about the way things used to be, the way things might be next week if they just changed a little bit. I'm talking about relationships, it's true. Not the kind of relationship you might have with a bank teller, the laugh you might share over a lunch counter, but those relationships in our lives that make them worth living. They're like a seedling. You can plant a seedling under concrete, it'll crack through. You can also crush out the light between 2 fingers. They're delicate, they're fragile, they're easily broken. Relationships can end for many reasons. Believe me, I know. I once demanded great beauty. You won't let me find out who I really am, I said. You're intellectually dull and your cooking's mundane, she said. And the tough one. Please don't go, I really need you. And oftentimes our relationships can end in this kind of destruction. And yet we keep hoping. We keep wishing. We keep trying to undo what's been done, to take back what's been said. And if we could do that in real life as easily as I do that with a piece of thread, that would be magic. Real magic, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. That was amazing, Peter, as always.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think we're just about at our time here. We could try one last thing if you like, or we can stop there. It's entirely up to you.
We could do one more thing.
Okay, then we'll try something. I have to tell you that I'm kind of a skeptic when it comes to things psychic, as many of you might know, or many of you may not know. So I have a friend of mine who lives up in Woodstock. He's the kind of guy who believes in all sorts of wonderful things. It's like, for him, the world is meant to be. It's like gears on a gear truck. You know, it's like he walked into McDonald's the other day. This was before this all came through. And he walked in, and the person behind the counter said, would you like fries with that? And he was thinking to himself that he was still hungry. And he goes, wow, how did they possibly know that I was still hungry? So he's the kind of guy that wears tie-dye t-shirts, bell-bottom pants, and buttons for everything. So we get into arguments about this sort of stuff. I'm the kind of guy that wants to know why are psychic fairs canceled for unforeseen circumstances. Why does that happen? Can you give me some of these people on the screen here now? That would be great. If you could get everybody up on screen with me. I think you had a way to put 4 people up there at the same time, or 4.
That is not an option tonight, unfortunately. We are technical difficulties.
Oh, that's too bad. Okay. Yeah. Well,
they can definitely talk to you. They just can't.
Okay. Well, let's talk to it. I'm going to need 3 different people and somebody to sort of work as a counter. Let's just try this. All right. So let's try this. So anyway, this is my friend, Bill. Bill sent me a little package, and we'll get to that in just a second. We'll leave it up over here temporarily, just like that. It's there. And I have here a number of envelopes. We have a number of envelopes. We have a 1, a 2, 3. You can see where this is going. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you, if you would please, it could be Sean, could be anybody. Here's what we're going to do. Let's see if we can do this in a way that makes sense. I'll try and do this way so you can see it that way. If you say, I'm going to ask you to mix them up, and you can mix them up in a random kind of a way. If you say deal, I deal it down. If you say switch, I will switch them in the order and deal them. If you say deal, I deal. If you say switch, I switch. You understand what I'm saying? So deal or switch, and if I switch, that changes the order of them, and it really does change the order. It mixes them all up, changes them all around, makes them sort of all different positions and stuff like that. So let's try this. Sean, are you feeling lucky? Because decisions make really a lot of importance here. They're an important thing. So go ahead, and if you would please just tell me, do I deal or do I switch?
Switch.
Switch. So that's the first one, is switch, just like that. Deal or switch?
Deal.
Deal. Deal or switch?
Switch.
Switch. Switch I do. Deal or switch?
Switch.
Switch again. Deal or switch? I'll put this so you
Deal.
can see them. There we go. Deal, and the last one has to be deal. Okay. Stephanie, let's try you if you're feeling lucky about this. So again, if you would please, you just say deal or switch. Which one do we do?
Deal.
Deal. Deal or
Deal.
switch? Deal.
Deal. Switch.
Deal. Switch.
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 And deal.
And deal. And that's the last one is deal. Okay. So go back to here. So now here's the interesting thing is that there are, this is 9 factorial. If you take 9 numbers and you arrange them in a different form, you shuffle them all around and change them all around, what you do is you create a brand new number out of all of these. As a matter of fact, if you do it, there are 366,880 possible ways of doing this. So this is the number for tonight. 453,129,786. Okay. All right. So we have to keep that. That's going to be your number for tonight. And that's an important thing to do. And this is in this conversation with Bill, he said, I bet that we can predict something. And I said, well, I'll write you a check if you get it right. So we'll try that. It's like I said, I tend to be skeptical about these things. I actually once dated a woman who was really, we can't say we really dated. She broke up with me before we met. So, but she knew. So ouch is right, exactly right. But Bill said that we had to do this target number, first of all. So that's the first thing. And then he asked me to generate some information here from you here. So if I could please, today, what's today? Today's June, right? June 5th, right?
Yes.
5th? Okay, June 5th. Okay, great, terrific. Great. And so this is going to be a number of things. So we're going to need a time, a place, and an amount of money. So this is, we'll try this. And if I could, between you, Vince, choose who we're going to work with. Who should it be?
How about Stephanie? Go ahead.
Stephanie. Okay, so Stephanie, so I want you to imagine that you're at home and you're looking around, and all of a sudden you notice that there's a phone call comes in, and you look at the clock, and the clock's over there. Okay, all right. So you look at the clock, great, and you notice a time that's on that clock. And I want you to tell us, and then I want you can write it down if you want to. I'll make a note of it here too. What is the time you see on that clock? And try to be precise to the minute of what it is.
8:46.
8:46. So 8:46. And is that AM or PM?
AM.
AM. So it's in the morning that's there. Okay, great. So 8:46. Great. And Sean. So let's do this. So we've looked around and we've sort of always wanted to go someplace. So we've in our mind to sort of run through different places. We're not doing a lot of traveling these days. So let's just make this an imaginary place to go to. And where are we going to go to? It could be a city, it could be a country, it could be a city in a country, it could be some exotic place, wherever you like.
Paris.
Paris. So we're going to get an Airbnb in Paris. So we're going to go to Paris. Exactly. That's Paris, France. Excellent. Paris, France. Excellent. That's great. And then and Vince. No,
yes.
do this. Let's do this. So let's do it this way. Sean, you reach in your pocket and you look at how much money, and the first thing you look at is the bills. And how much have you got? What's the bills that you've got in your pocket there? How much money is there?
I actually don't have any money in my pocket.
Exactly. So this is a little thing called imagination. So imagine that you could do this, or you're walking along and you look down and somebody's dropped some money. How much money did they drop? And try to be, it might be somebody, it fell out of somebody's pocket. How much was it?
Let's say $33.
$33. Wow. $33. Okay. And Steph, change. You see some spare change that's sort of lying around, and so how much is that spare change?
67 cents.
Wow. Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. 67 cents. Excellent. Okay, great. So that's terrific. And here's the interesting thing about all this sort of stuff. So let me just recap this for a moment, please. Just recapping it for a moment. Okay. So we have here. Sorry. We have the time, which was what was your time that you said on this? It was
8:45 a.m.
8 a.m. right? 8:45 a.m. Okay, great, excellent. And then the place was Paris, right? Exactly. And 33, right? 33 and 67. Am I right about that?
Yes.
$33.67, correct?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, I just want
Yes.
to make sure that we're correct on that, because we have to make sure that we actually, all the stuff lines up here. And this is the reason I've asked for this, is because this is what Bill sent over here. This. And oh, sorry, that's the mailing address there. And you can see Bill's up in Woodstock, as I said. So it's there. And Bill's, and the thing about this is that Bill's got here instructions that are in here. And also inside of there is the package that he sent along here. So the instructions, let me see if I can just do this so you can keep seeing this. The instructions here say, open the package, okay. Do the tests, that's getting the information. Pass out the stapled package for inspection. Okay. Stapled package for inspection. And you can see it really is stapled on all sides. On all sides, that's there. Okay, and then the last thing is use the target number for the last test, and last write me a check. Okay, all right, well, great, terrific. All right, so that's that. This is the package. It's actually a menu from the daily specials. Okay, great, terrific. And this is Friday. So a glass of wine and the Granville Island. Okay, great, terrific. All right, mussels. There we go, the mussels. And inside of here, there is a package. Okay. And Stephanie, I'll be happy to send all this to you also. But inside, as my friend John Stetson says, sometimes in New York, it's very difficult to tell the difference between a souvenir and garbage. So, and this is, here is the packet written here. And here it says, can you see that?
Yes.
The clock shows 8:46 a.m. Opening the door, we see we are in Paris. There is $33.67 and exactly that in my pocket. So there we go. So, okay, so Bill is, all right, he is going to get the check, but, oh, there's one last thing here. The target number, because he said that's the last thing to do. And it says here, there are 362,880 possible ways to arrange 9 numbers. Oh, crap. Yeah. Arrange 9 numbers. Yeah, nice that, huh? Yeah, I know you won't believe that, but it is true because it says now here, tonight, your number is
4, 5,
3, 1, 2, 9, 7, 8, and 6. And I was hoping you would make all those choices. I was hoping you'd make those choices because he had said that there was a hidden inside of here, there was a secret message. And it's a bit of an odd message. Doesn't seem to make any sense at all. But by odd, he means keep the odd numbers and switch the even ones. So we switch the even ones like that and like that and like that and like that. And that's the message that we have for you, which is thank you. So I hope you enjoyed that.
Yes, very much so.
Thank you for letting me play with you. It's been my pleasure. I'm Peter Samelson. Have a great evening. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Peter.
Thanks,
That
Peter.
was awesome.
My
A round
pleasure.
of applause, everyone, for Peter. That was amazing. Thank you so much. And wow, Peter is another one of my personal favorites, and I consider him a very good friend. I think he's a friend to anyone he meets, to be honest with you. He's an amazing gentleman and a wonderful performer. And it's another one of the magicians I like to bounce ideas off and test things with. But it's time to bring the evening to a close. I couldn't think of anyone else to help close it with. In fact, it's kind of appropriate that we're here at night. There's a thunderstorm outside, right where I am, which is the reason for some of the technical difficulties we've been having this evening. The lights are low. We're running on batteries right now. And with the mystery that is in the air in a haunted library and under a haunted hotel, it's only appropriate for me to bring in Mr. Paul Prater to close this evening out. Paul, are you there? Paul, are you there? I call upon the spirit of Paul Prater.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
The seance has worked.
You just had to call my spirit properly, Vince. That's all.
I'll work on that. So, Paul, you're in the spotlight now, the well-deserved spotlight. So, Paul Prater is a mystery performer from Arkansas. So, Paul, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're doing, and where you're coming from, and what you're going to be bringing to the spooky magic table tonight. I see you have a table set up and everything.
I do. Yeah, well, what I'm going to do is a little bit of storytelling, a little bit of performing, hopefully showing you some things that make you scratch your head, and telling you about a family member of mine.
Ah, and do you need any volunteers this evening?
I do. I need at least 2. 3 would be better, but I can go with 2 if need be.
All right, so we're going to keep, if anyone else is out there and wants to join in, don't be nervous because you're a magician. We don't care. So just jump in. There's plenty of people in the chat room. They're just not jumping into the Zoom link. The link is in the Zoom chat. It is also in the description. Click on the link and jump in as a volunteer. We have some volunteers in already. It's still Stephanie and Sean. I'm sure they'll be glad to continue helping us out. And I'm here as well if you need me.
Great. Well, I'm ready if you are.
All right, we're ready.
All right, terrific. Well, I want to start by thanking all of you who are watching for being here with me doing a show in my living room. This is only the second time I've done this, and I learned from the first one that it's a good idea to wear pants, especially when that camera is right at crotch level. So thankfully for all of you, I am wearing pants tonight. If you want the pants free show, that is later, and it is not free. Anyway, we'll move on. As I said, stop, what are you doing throwing stuff at me? Sorry, that's my girlfriend. Apparently she wants attention, but she told me to look for other ways to bring in money. Anyway, I guess the pants free show wasn't a approved way to bring in money. Anyway, I am a mind reader, and I'm going to do my best to try to read minds over the internet. I'm going to see if I can do that. So as I'm scanning everyone out there, I'm seeing that roughly, no, not roughly, precisely, 53.5% of you think that I'm totally full of crap, right? Proof that I'm a mind reader. Now, I'll do this every show I do, and most of the audiences, they're not quite as skeptical as you guys, so I have a harder hurdle to overcome tonight. Now, there's a smaller percentage of you who are wondering, or actually worried, that perhaps I can read minds, and you're worried that I'll reveal your deepest, darkest secrets. I would not do that on the internet for the sake of entertainment, but I will keep quiet for money. There's those coffee links where you can drop some money in, so, you know, that might be a good idea. There are a smaller number of you who are wondering if I'm single. Well, I'm pretty sure she just answered that question for you, but you know, she's out. Go, I'm doing a show. All right, good. She's out of the room. Anyway, while she's out of the room, I mean, this is the time of COVID and everyone has a price and it's a lot less now. So drop some money in that coffee link and just don't tell her, shh, and maybe you'll get a date out of this too. Anyway, I'm going to get on with the show. I want you to think about tonight kind of like maybe your first kiss. It might have been a little strange. You might have not known what to expect, but if you just sit back and enjoy it, maybe it's something that will be both wonderful and something that you'll remember for a very long time. So people do ask me, how did I get into this? How did I start in the realm of entertainment and particularly the kind of magic that I do? And I will tell you, the devil has nothing to do with it anymore. He proved to be very unreliable. No, mine started with family. And during this time right now of COVID-19, you've probably gotten to spend a lot of time with family, and maybe you want to murder your spouse or put your children up for adoption, or maybe you've had a lot of good times with Netflix and chill, and maybe you're adding to that family a little bit like I did with two. No, not kids, just puppies. We got two puppies, that's all. But family is where this all started for me. I need to tell you a story. I love this. It's when I was 10 years old. My dad came to me and said that we were going to meet an old family. I didn't even know that this woman existed before I was 10 years old. See, she was a fortune teller in Boston, Massachusetts, and my dad is a Baptist minister. So Baptist ministers don't tell you about the crazy mind-reading black sheep great aunt who lives in Boston. But once she retired, I guess mom and dad considered her safe at that point in time. So they told me that we were going to go meet her. And I said, nah, I'm not going to go meet some old lady. I imagined that she would leave lipstick on me and smell funny. And they told me, yes, you are going to go see her. So we got in the van and we drove to a restaurant, and I assumed it would be something like, Golden Corral, since it was an old lady. But no, we went to a very nice restaurant. That was the first surprise. It was summertime, so we were sitting out in the van waiting on her to get there. And I noticed this black Cadillac pull in, chrome trim on it. And this woman got out who was in a perfectly cut, very stylish black dress. She had on a black hat, her sunglasses, and then she waved at mom and dad. I could not believe that this was the woman that we were going to meet. So she came up to meet me and she bent down to my level. She said, hello, my name is Ruby. And when she leaned in, she didn't kiss me all over like I expected. She did the European style, cheek to cheek, with her lips close to my ear. And when they were there, she said, it's in you. I was kind of freaked out. It's in me. What does she mean? It's in me. What's in me? Again, I said my dad was a preacher, so it had me really weirded out. Was it demons? Was it the devil? What was it? So we went in the restaurant and sat to eat, and I kept thinking, it's in me. It's in me. What does that mean? And then I thought, she probably didn't even say that. And she turned and looked at me and went, I said it, and went back and talked to mom and dad as if nothing had ever happened. I thought this was really mind-blowing and strange, what's going on. And I couldn't wrap my head around what was happening. And then she just said, I think Paul should come and stay with me for a week. Mom and dad looked at me and I said, okay. So we went and packed the bag and then got on the road, a long drive up to her house. And we stopped along the way and got some drinks and some food. And I said, were you really a fortune teller? And she said, I was. And I said, you must have done really cool stuff and met cool people, and crazy things must have happened. And do you have a story? And I want to share one of those stories with you that she told to me. She said one night she was sitting in her office. She had a proper fortune telling parlor, and she had a door with a frosted glass panel, and she saw the outline of a man. It was right before closing time. She heard a knock on the door and told him to come in. And right away, the man struck her as off. Something was wrong. Looking at his aura, it just wasn't right. And so she asked him, what's your name? And he said, I don't want to talk. I just want you to tell my fortune. And so she pulled out 3 tarot cards. She wanted to do something quick and easy so that she didn't have to spend much time with it. The first one that she pulled out was the Wheel of Fortune. A second Wheel of Fortune. And lastly, the Death card. 2 positives, one that could be seen as negative. And she said, we all take a ride on the wheel of fortune, and hopefully we have a lot of fun before we meet our ultimate fate. She told him to select what he wanted, and he said he wanted the bottom card. And she showed the bottom card was the death card. Now, at this point, the guy freaked out. She goes, no, it's not literally death. And he said, I don't care. I don't want that card. That's not the one I want. And she said, it's not a bad card. He said, I don't care. I want the top card. She showed him the top card, and it too was the death card. Now, at this point, she was a little freaked out as well. She didn't understand what was going on. And then he said, no, I don't want that one. I want the middle card. She pulled out the middle card, and it too was the death card. At that point, the man did run out, slammed the door behind him, and my great aunt locked up and went home. She had a trouble sleep that night trying to figure out what exactly had happened. And the next morning, she sat down for her breakfast, sipped her coffee, and looked in the newspaper. And then it all made sense. Saw that man, his face there in the picture. His name was Albert DeSalvo, the Boston Strangler. This guy was a mass murderer. Then it made sense. She kept looking for the Wheel of Fortune, and all she could find was death, because she was in the presence of the devil. And that was the first story that she shared with me. And I was absolutely transfixed, not only by her story, but by the images on those cards. And I wanted to know more. So on that ride, we talked about a lot of things. And my great aunt explained to me that she believed that there was this alternative plane of existence, this thing that she called the etheric plane. And if you could enter the etheric plane, then really you could do virtually anything. It would be like moving forward in time, moving back in time. If you can enter the etheric plane, then the internet is really no stumbling block or anything that stands in between us even. So I do want to use one of our volunteers. Was it Sean, I believe?
Sure thing.
Is that right?
Yes, Sean.
All right, Sean. Good, Sean, I'm glad we have you on. And Sean, I believe I heard earlier you live in Florida, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and we have not met before,
No, we haven't.
correct?
We have not.
But if I come to Florida, I now have a place. What's that?
Yeah, you got a place down here.
Sweet, all right, so making connections, all right, I love it. So I'm gonna try to make another connection with you, Sean, all right? What I want you to do is think about the person who's most important to you. Don't tell me who they are, just think about the first person that pops in your head that's the most important person to you, all right? And then I just want you to give me their initials. What are the initials of that person?
TK.
TK, all right. TK, and I want you to think about TK. Think about how this person, who this person is, what their age is. And I'm going to do my best to try to pick up on some things. It's kind of hard over the internet, especially when I can't see you. But TK, this is a family member, yes?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And this person, feeling like it's a female, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
All right, very good. TK and family member. I feel like I've picked up on some things there, female family member. But here's the thing. Before we even started, I tried to connect with you. Obviously, I knew that you were on because I was watching earlier, and I don't mean connect with you as in reach out and text you or email you or anything like that, but just connect with you mentally. And you see, I made a prediction, so to speak. I want to show you, I've got an envelope. You can see there, it's sealed up, and I put a prediction in it as I was watching you. And it had to do with what was going to happen tonight. And Sean, I want to show you what I did. Sealed envelope. And I had a feeling that the initials named would be TK. So who is TK? What's the first name?
Tommy.
Tell Tommy I read your mind. Is that your brother?
No, it's actually my mother.
Your mother. All right. Tell her that I read your mind tonight. How about that? So maybe we're getting somewhere here. Maybe there is some connection that can be made over the internet. Maybe through this idea of moving through different dimensions. Now, one of the things that my great aunt had a great interest in as well was mediums, the idea of being able to contact the dead. And I've got some of the tools here that mediums would have used. These are simple slates that kids would have used in school. And in the Victorian era, mediums often use these in their attempts to reach the other side. Now, if my great aunt's theory is right, that you can actually move back and forth through these parallel dimensions, then maybe she can give us a sign tonight. And I have another item I would like to use. It's just a simple bell and a stamp. So maybe if she's here or contacts us at some point, she can ring that bell and let us know. So I want to move on. I spent that first summer there with that great aunt, and she taught me all kinds of things. A lot of what she taught me were by way of games, or at least that's what I thought they were. But I started to realize that these games weren't actually games. These were her attempts to develop these abilities, this idea that you can move back and forth between these various planes. And I want to play one of these games with you guys out there. Vince, do we have a third person, or are we just Stephanie and Sean right now?
We got me, Stephanie, and Sean.
Well, I'll work with all three of you then. I want to work with this idea of being able to send and receive information across the internet, because I think that could help maybe back up her claims. So I want everyone to play along. I want you to just close your eyes. I want you to breathe in deeply. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Continue to do that as you listen to the sound of my voice. You can open your eyes if you want. I just want you to be totally relaxed. I want you to be in the moment right now. Don't worry about what you have to do later tonight or tomorrow or at any other time. Just be in the moment right now, because not only am I going to try to pick up on things from you, but I want you to try to pick up on things from me as well, and see if we can do this over the internet. So what I want to do first is I'm going to write down a location, because I'm assuming you guys haven't played psychic games except for Vince. Obviously you have. I'm going to write down a location. This is some place that won't be as obvious as like your house, but it won't be as obscure as, say, like Mittwald, Germany. So it's going to be a place that'll be familiar to you. Now, this comes across to different people in different ways. It may come across to you as, say, a smell, like maybe the beach or the clean mountain air. It might look very visual, like a postcard, or it may come across as just big letters that are written. Everyone receives information differently, and that's okay, no matter how you receive the information. I just want you to be open to it. So I've already written down my location. And I'm going to try to send this out to you guys in 3, 2, 1. I've sent that out. And Vince, did a particular location come to mind for you?
Maybe, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, what was it? Go ahead. I've already written down what I tried to send.
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Okay, very good. So that was the first part of our little game that we would play, is I would try to send information to her, as I've tried to send it to all of you. Now, you guys are basically going to play the role of my great aunt. So I'm going to ask you to send something to me. So what I want you to do is think about childhood. Childhood's a good one. There's a lot of strong emotion tied up in childhood. And I want you to think about your favorite gift when you were a kid. Now, perhaps you got it for Christmas. If you celebrated Christmas, think about everything surrounding that time. Maybe there's crackling wood in the fireplace, the smell of a pine tree in the living room, or cookies in the oven. I want you to really strongly connect with that feeling. Or perhaps it was a gift you got on your birthday, and just think about the excitement of having the party and the friends over and all of that the next day. I just really want you to focus in on the feelings and emotions and that gift, whatever that one gift was. And I want everyone, not out loud, but mentally over the internet, to send that to me in 3, 2, 1. Send it now. And I think I picked up on it. This one's always difficult, but I think I got it. I've committed it to writing. It's sitting right there as well. Stephanie, did you have a particular gift you were thinking of?
Yeah, it's my memory,
Yeah, what
but
was
yes, there's a Teddy Ruxpin.
What was it?
There's a Teddy Ruxpin, a little
Okay.
talking Teddy.
Yeah, I got you. All right. So yeah, that's an unusual one, not something I would expect, but that's fine. That creates more of a challenge. Now, the final thing is something that no one could actually know. And I've got some items here that all belong to that great aunt. I figure if we're going to try to bring her here and see if she can give us a sign of her presence, then maybe we ought to use some items that belong to her. So I'm going to pull some of those items out and share them with you. Okay, we got plenty of space here. I was checking my camera to see what everything looked like. All right, so I'll share what these items are. We have an old key. This is actually the key to her study at her house. I got that after she passed. This is a little leather-bound book that's The Rime of the Ancient Mariner by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. If you haven't read it, you should. It's awesome. If you want the really short version, there's an Iron Maiden song that pretty much tells the story. You can go that route too. I like both of them. I have a pendulum that belonged to her. A little compact, has a little mirror in it. Unfortunately, all the rouge is gone, but it's a pretty little compact there. And then finally, one of her handkerchiefs. Any lady in the South has to have a handkerchief because you never sweat, you just get dewy, and you need to make sure you can take care of that. So, all right, and our third spectator, who do we have, Vince?
Sean.
Sean.
Yeah, Sean. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I just worked with Stephanie. Okay, great. Sean, I'm going to have you help out with this. And you can see the items here in front of me, right?
Yes.
I want you to select two of those items. Tell me what the two items are you're selecting.
The pendulum and the key.
Pendulum and the key. So here's how our little game worked. And before we get into the whole thing, actually going to ask you to change your mind in just a minute because I didn't make my final prediction. I'm making my final prediction. So I'm going to mix these up and have you make different choices just to see if anything comes out differently. Okay, what two items would you like me to touch? Or you can stay the same if you want. I don't care.
Let's go with the handkerchief and the pendulum.
Handkerchief and pendulum. Okay, I'm going to give you another choice. Out of those two, which one would you like to get rid of?
The handkerchief.
Very good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch two items, and you can see me, but I'll still say what they are. We have the pendulum and the Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Pendulum and Rime of the Ancient Mariner. And I'll let you make another choice. Sean, which one of those do you want to get rid of?
The pendulum.
Pendulum. All right. Now imagine you can touch two items. Sean, which two would you touch?
The Rime of the Ancient Mariner and the key.
And the key. Now I'm going to make a choice for once, and I'm going to get rid of the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, and the final one is yours. If you could pick up one of those items that's left, which one would you pick up?
It would definitely be the key.
The key, that's what you would pick up?
Yes.
Do you want to change your mind? Do you want to change your mind on that?
Nope, I like the key.
Okay, very good. So imagine you're holding that key in your hand. Now I want to go through briefly what we talked about. The first thing was I tried to send a location to everyone. The second is you tried to send a gift to me. And finally, we had some random items, but I guess they weren't so random. They all belong to my great aunt. But you made a lot of choices, Sean. You could have changed your mind. That's what you stuck with, was the key. Now, the first place that we did was the location. This is where I hope to go next. Hopefully this stuff will be over and I will be in Baltimore for the convention Vince is putting on, and that will be my next trip. So Baltimore is indeed what I wrote down. Now you could assume that maybe I would assume that with Vince, but the next one, this is kind of weird, Stephanie. I'm not familiar with Teddy Ruxpin. Did this thing have like a cassette in it or something?
Yeah, it read books to you. Uh-huh.
I put cassette bear. Is that pretty darn
yeah,
close?
that's pretty close.
Cassette
yeah.
bear. That's why it was really strange to me. And then finally, Sean, you could have changed your mind out of all those items, but I had a feeling the one you would stick with would be the key. So this is how we played these psychic games. Now, the final thing I want to do is see if we can actually call my great aunt here. want to see if we can ask her to show herself. Ruby, if you're here, can you give us any kind of a sign? Can you show us something? Just let us know you're here, please. We have people from all over the internet watching. You always said that this is no problem. I would say that's a pretty clear sign. I just want to see if she left us a message. And she did. I'm here always. One of the things that my great aunt left me that I thought was a wonderful gift is the idea that you can do anything that you put your mind to. Consider the fact that you saw the impossible tonight all night long, but yet you experienced it, you saw it, which means it's not impossible. It means impossibility is just a narrow way of thinking. She told me that I could do anything I set my mind to, and because of you guys, I'm able to sit in my living room and do magic shows. That's a gift she gave me and one I hope to give you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Back to
you, Paul.
Vince. You're welcome.
As you can see, it's getting darker still here at the Haunted Library. Our evening is drawing to a close. Ironically, I'm feeling a boost of energy coming on after a long, hard day of trying to put this together to present to you some of the best magicians that you've ever seen. And we're having more tomorrow. Some old friends and new friends will be performing with Pose tomorrow evening, including, actually I want to bring this up because the list is kind of long. I don't want to, let's see. Oh yeah, and by the way, Paul did remind me in the chat that yes, tomorrow is not the day of our meeting. It is our Zoom meeting. Go to Mystery Collection, Paul Noffsinger. Just look up Mystery Collection, Miss Wilson, Paul Prater. Noffsinger is spelled Noffsinger. You know, to find the Mystery Collection chat we'll be doing on Sunday live. We'll be talking about ghosts and the paranormal and spooky stuff. All right. So Saturday starts off at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Joan DuKore, all the way from Las Vegas. Christian Cagigal will be joining us from California. Not too far away from Joan, I suppose. Paul Draper is also dropping in from his mysterious location, unknown. Todd Robbins. Todd, I wonder what you're going to do. And then after Todd Robbins, Max Maven performing with Pose for the very first time, as well as a few of these other people. And of course, David Parr, a good friend of mine and winner of Penn Teller's Plus. All these people will be back tomorrow. So tune in at 3 p.m. There'll be breaks. Don't worry. We're not going to make you go through all this consecutively. I need to rest my laurels a little bit myself. But I'm going to start getting ready for tomorrow by getting ready tonight. And this is the conclusion of Poe's first night for our Magic Weekend. It continues tomorrow evening at 3 p.m. It's more like the afternoon, but whatever. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already.
Okay. That's why I was
Derby
like,
dogs.
put them in the garage.
No, I meant, well, that too.
Paul, you're not muted. We can hear about the dogs in the garage. It's all right. Hi, Sarah.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. But tune in tomorrow night for more Pose magic and maybe more behind the scenes with unmuted people. And you'll find out the intimate details. It could have gone much worse. You're only finding out about dogs in the garage. That's not so bad. All right.
Oh, we're not even fighting.
Everyone, have a wonderful evening. Tune in tomorrow. Like and subscribe. Ring that bell so you know about upcoming Pose events and new videos coming up. We're going to be starting supplying you with some new ones. The Eckerts also will be on tomorrow. They pre-recorded the video for us because they're on the secret mission this weekend. All right. I suppose we'll find out about that at some point. Anyway, everyone, I'm drawing this on too long. I need my rest. Everyone, have a good night.